For over 100 years, high school football has been the fabric of Western Pennsylvania. On Friday nights in the fall, city streets are empty and stadiums are full.
Who's gonna rise to the occasion?
You leave your heart on this field for 48 minutes, every single play, and give them what you got. Let's go!
It just means more here. Town versus town. School versus school.
It's about tradition. It's about hard work. It's about pride.
All of the running, all of the lifting, it all leads to this.
It's all about Friday nights.
High school football and root sports.
It's on.
Oh, it's on.
Hello and welcome to another edition of McDonald's High School Football on Root Sports, presented by Trip Total Media and UPMC Sports Medicine. It is Halloween weekend. We don't know if we have any tricks in store, but we do have a real treat for you. A couple of South Hills powerhouses, the traditional powerhouses in Quad A in the South Hills, Mount Lebanon, the Blue Devils, visiting the Upper St. Clair Panthers. You see the respective records overall for each. The most important record for each, though, is a 4-0 marks in Quad West play, unblemished, so the winner of tonight's game wins the Quad West Championship. Alongside Craig Wolfley, I'm Rob King, and Wolf, two traditional powers with a Quad West Championship on the line. What a great way to finish up our regular season here on Root Sports.
You are right, Kinger. It's a great night. I mean, it's a perfect night temperature-wise. We've got a rekindled rivalry between Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon, and you've got skilled athletes in the skilled positions, and you got meat eaters in the trenches going at it. It's wonderful to be watching football tonight.
This rivalry was briefly on hiatus. They started back up again in 2004. Upper St. Clair won 6 in a row until last year. Mount Lebanon won 14-10. If they're going to spring the upset tonight, it'll likely be behind senior running back Luke Hagee.
Yes, indeed. You've got Luke Hagee, a guy that all coaches want. Why? Because he's not just brawn and speed and everything else when he's toting the pigskin, but he's one of these guys with great vision and got game brains. Yeah, game brains. He sees the game unfolding before him, can come off the field and give you a complete compilation of what went on in that last play to the coaches.
Here, they're leading rushers in the WPIL. Russell Shell, everybody knows about him, but Luke Hagee is 31 yards behind. He leads all Quad A rushers. He could wind up leading all WPIL rushers with a big game tonight. Now, Luke Hagee committed to Cornell. He did have an offer to play at Pitt. Had he chosen to go to Pitt, he would have been teammates with Upper St. Clair quarterback Dakota Conwell, who is a double threat running and throwing the football.
Yeah, not only that, they could have saved gas money. They could have put together, you know. Yeah, Dakota Conwell, terrific athlete. You talk to Jim Render and he tells you, you love the big arm on him, you love his speed, you love all the qualities that he brings, and he's a good leader too. And that's just what you need, and they're going to need tonight.
Wolf, you mentioned loads of talent. Well, it's not just a skill position, guys. Arthur Goldberg, he's going to be playing in the Big Ten at Wisconsin. Ian Park's going to be going to Northwestern, so they'll meet at the collegiate ranks. But they meet here first tonight on Root Sports. Kickoff coming up. Mount Lebanon visiting Upper St. Clair. It's up next. Like that on the bench. What's that? Reasonable. Okay. You mean the one I just mentioned in the open? Where's this extra noise I'm getting? I'm getting some ambient. Why am I getting ambient? Am I going to continue to get ambient noise? You hearing all that stuff like around? All right, that's better.
No, I don't hear anything.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's just because we're indoors. No. That's good. That's good. It just sounds like we're in a phone booth. I guess it's because we're indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. All I got to do is put the car in neutral and just coast down the hill practically. Good deal. That's what I want to see. She's doing stretches.
You loosened up. I didn't stretch long enough. You ever, sometimes when you're not feeling that great and you exercise and you just have a great workout. I went for over an hour today on the old elliptical.
I worked with
never
my
do.
sledgehammers today. That was fun.
That's what I need to do. I'm gonna sledgehammer. Thor.
High school football on Root Sports Pittsburgh is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By Trip Total Media, your source for high school football coverage. Trip Total Media, see what's next. By UPMC Sports Medicine. Visit upmcsportsmedicine.com to learn about expert care for athletes of all levels. Great traditional rivalry. Chris Herring, this is his 17th season, won the 2000 WPIL championship. Played with your brother Dale Wolfley at West Virginia as well, correct?
Absolutely, and I have actually we've come to hitting each other on an NFL field. Chris was with the Miami Dolphins, and at that time I had been exiled off to Minnesota.
And Jim Render, in his 33rd season here at Mount Lebanon, won his 350th game last week. 5 WPIL championships, 2 state championships as a team, very capable of winning another WPIL championship this year. What a great, great coach. And we mentioned this in the open. Since 2004, again, that rivalry took a little bit of a hiatus. Then they had the reconfiguration of all the conferences around the WPIL. So this great traditional rivalry came back. Upper St. Clair had been dominating. Mount Lebanon won last year 14-10, part of an unbeaten season. They were upset in the playoffs, but Mount Lebanon winning last year, trying to spring the upset this year. No question that Upper St. Clair will be the favorite going into this game. And let's take a look at the keys for each team. For Mount Lebanon, they want to eliminate Upper St. Clair's big plays. They've got a lot of big playmakers with Dakota Conwell and Mike Wilcox. Win the turnover battle for Upper St. Clair. They know they have to contain Luke Hagee, and they want to maintain the ball, play a little keep away from this Mount Lebanon team.
Yes, indeed. Jim Render is one of the legendary coaches in the Whippy. You know, you think about some of the other guys, and he's racked up, what is it, 350?
Amazing.
Wins? That's just amazing.
Here's the opening kickoff, brought to you by S&T Bank. As we take a look at Dimitri Orphanopoulos, who's back deep for Mount Lebanon, along with Dan Graziano and Luke Hagee. And the approach and the boot, and it is going to come down to Orphanopoulos, who's going to take it at the 7. And he crosses the 20-yard line, spins through a tackler, stays on his feet, and finally gets knocked down at the 26-yard line. Orphanopoulos will be a busy guy, also does the place kicking for this Blue Devils offense as well.
That was a nice little run back by the Orphanopoulos there.
And there is Pat Goff, 3-year starter. The senior comes in, has put up solid numbers. Most of the time, his main responsibility is to hand it to number 25, Luke Hagee, who obviously a huge part of this Mount Lebanon offense. We talked about that in the open. Second in the WPIL in rushing, leading all Quad A running backs. And he starts out deep in the I formation. And to give to Hagee. He'll try the right side, and not much doing there as Bobby Tuttle comes up to help make the stop. Let's take a look at the offensive lineup here for the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils. And we're listing the size of the offensive linemen this week because both lines very big. Karstein, Duty, Goldberg, and Buxer. And then we mentioned Goff and Luke Hagee. Jack Fayette is the fullback, Dimitri Orphanopoulos. Troy Apke, the wide receivers. Dylan White is the tight end for the Blue Devils.
Make no bones about it, though. You want to get a look at the Arthur Goldberg-Ian Park matchup.
Second down, handoff to Hagee. Hagee will squirt up the middle and cross the 30-yard line, pick up just a couple there, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 5 or so as Toyota brings you the starting defense for Upper St. Clair. Jack Schwaba, who's also headed to Northwestern alongside Ian Park. Jack Radzakanis, a 3-year starter. Rory Blair, Gibson, Stefan Tuttle, and Dietrich. The linebackers, Ryan Boyd, Pete Coughlin, and Steve Gannon in the secondary for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
And though a bit undersized, that Jake Radzakanis may well be the best offensive lineman out on the field tonight.
3rd and 6. Goff back to pass. Looking, going to throw out to the sidelines. Complete. No, they're going to say incomplete. Out of bounds. Looked like he had Apke out there, but they're going to rule it out of bounds, so it'll bring up a punting down for the Blue Devils.
Well, we got Pete Coughlin, who's just in a nice coverage there on an out pattern. And you can see right here, the ball's delivered by Goff, and it's just a matter of getting the both feet in bounds, and he did, well, actually getting one in bounds, but looked like that one got out before the other.
Yeah, it looked like the right foot was down before the left foot came down. The right foot landed out of bounds before the left foot came down. So Tyler Roth will come on to do the punting now with Mike Wilcox. Very, very dangerous. Does have a punt return for a touchdown already this year. And now we have a whistle, and you saw the block at the end of that play.
Well, they've blocked a handful of punts this year.
5 blocked punts for Upper St. Clair this season. It is amazing, and this was last week, one of the 5 blocked punts, and they've returned 4 of those for touchdowns. That is amazing. 5 blocked punts, 4 for touchdowns. This against Shaler earlier with Rory Blair making the initial block and then the fumble recovery in the end zone for the touchdown. So Upper St. Clair extremely dangerous on special teams. Roth, one of the best punters in the WPIL, back deep. Kick it away. Oh, just got that away. Rory Blair came with some pressure on that one, and it'll take a sideways bounce, and it is down there. So Upper St. Clair, boy, some early pressure on that punt attempt, and they're going to have the ball in excellent field position out at the 49-yard line.
Well, the big thing, and when you want to get pressure, you got to commit the people up front, and then you got to get quick penetration, and that's just what Upper St. Clair does. And you can see how close they came. And had they gone on the first one, they might have well gotten that first one, but right there you can see, you know, they are harassing punters all over the Whippeal. I mean, just the threat of them coming alone is enough probably for a good 10-yard, you know, position switch.
There's Dakota Conwell. And Conwell will keep straight run off the left side, and Conwell is going to pick up good yardage to the short side of the field, gain about 5, bounced out at the 46-yard line.
Nothing fancy about that one. Just give it to Dakota and let him run just around the end there. You're going to see right here. Taking a look at it, okay? You got the shotgun snap, just snap it back. Now you pull your center around. Get that center out there, get a block, but Dakota outruns even his personal protector.
So we'll pick up a 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Upper St. Clair already on their second play has crossed midfield. Conwell under center this time. Give to Zach Dietrich. Dietrich finds a hole off the right side, and Dietrich will pick up first down yardage, crosses the 40 down to the 39, as Toyota gives you a look at the starting lineup for Upper St. Clair. Again, listing the size of those offensive linemen. Monzalewski, Hess, Park, those 2 are brothers, by the way, and Jake Radzikanis. And then Dakota Conwell, Zach Dietrich, who just did that last carry, Austin Stefan, Mike Wilcox, very dangerous, Ryan Boyd, and Jack Schwaba. As we mentioned, Schwaba also a Division I player heading to Northwestern. So 1st and 10 at the 39. Conwell will give to Dietrich. Dietrich wrapped up this time, nowhere to go. It's Max Goldberg. And Max Goldberg is the twin brother of Arthur Goldberg, and he makes the stop there as we take a look at the starting defense for the Blue Devils, brought to you again by Toyota. Dylan White, Will Gladden, and Arthur and Max Goldberg. As we mentioned, twins, you can see the size discrepancy between the two. Sam Pitcairn, Taylor Dean, and Jack Fayette are the linebackers. Roth, Graham, Luke Hagee, and Dan Graziano in the defensive secondary for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, the Goldbergs are twins the way Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito were in that movie. They're a little bit different looking.
And 66 pounds of difference between the two. No gain, 2nd and 10. Conwell rolls to his right, looking downfield, throws, and too high for his intended receiver downfield. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down. That was intended for Alex Garwood.
Yeah, Dakota came out there, got a little too much mustard on it. You know, you're excited, big game. You got a little rivalry going. You got those butterflies kind of churning in the gullet at kickoff here, and you got a little bit too much strength. You're going to be able to throw that ball out of bounds there.
And that is the tendency, right, when you're a little excited to throw that ball high early in the game. So you look, maybe as the game wears down, he settles in to get that throw a little lower.
Well, I'm told that because I never actually threw a ball in a game. If I had a ball in a game, I was in trouble.
Conwell has Dietrich as his protector to the left. Back to pass. Looking, going to step up and throw over the middle, complete. Schwaba's knee hit the ground right at the 30-yard line, so this is going to bring up a 4th and short. Looks like he's just about a half a yard short of a 1st down here.
Well, you can see Dakota, you're looking right at him. He's looking over the middle. He's going to find his tight end hooking up underneath. And unfortunately for Jack, he did drop down to 1 knee, which automatically in high school, you're down. and he just positioned himself a little short of it. But that's a big target. Jack Schwab is big.
He is. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. 4th and 1. Conwell in the shotgun. Gets the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Off the left side. Has some room. Wriggles out of a tackler and is finally wrestled down by Graziano, but picks up plenty for the first down. An 11-yard run for Conwell. And on 4th down, Jim Render's team able to convert.
Well, this is what you love. A nice kick-out block coming on a trap, and boom, that's Ian Park dropping the hammer there. And all you got to do is get Conwell up inside on the seam. That's a nice trap play. Boy, it does my heart good. There's nothing better than just coming in and creasing somebody's eyebrow with a good trap block.
Upper St. Clair in the Range Resources red zone for the first time tonight. Conwell will keep off the left side, has some room, spins out of a tackler, and is finally taken down by Dean Taylor, but picked up another 6 or 7 off the left side.
Well, one of our guys in the classic Jurassic Park meat eater matchup is Ian Park. And look at Ian Park. Max Goldberg on his backside there. That's a great trap. Then turn around and drive him to the ground. That's the way to finish. You want to get low, come up, rising blow, and then keep those ham hocks a churning until you put somebody down.
Tight formation. In that shotgun, it's Conwell. He'll give to Dietrich off the right side. Trying to get to the edge. Hesitation move. Turns the corner, and Dietrich scampers into the end zone. Zach Dietrich, a 13-yard touchdown run. An impressive opening drive for Upper St. Clair, and they grab the early lead.
Nice job of running the stretch. You get yourself some nice front side seals. Take a look there now on the Upper St. Clair right side of the line. Little handoff here. Now just keep pressing it. Wait for your fullback to kick out, and then you just head on up the sidelines and put yourself in the end zone. Because no dirt is as good as pay dirt, my friend.
Killen Mulkern is on to try the extra point.
And we actually got that one right this time.
Snap is good. Kick is up. And the kick is good. And Upper St. Clair, an impressive 51-yard touchdown drive, capped off by the 13-yard TD run by Dietrich. They lead 7-0. Courtesy of Google Earth, we will take the trip from downtown Pittsburgh, and you can see Mount Lebanon and our flyover, Bethel Park, Upper St. Clair, all these communities tightly woven here in the South Hills. And there we are, Panther Stadium, where Upper St. Clair has given their faithful something to cheer about immediately here on this Halloween weekend on Root Sports.
I almost saw my house.
Yeah, you're close here, huh?
I'm close, yeah.
That's a great scoring drive. 8 plays, 51 yards, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Zach Dietrich capping it off with that 13-yard touchdown run. What a start for Upper St. Clair in this great traditional rivalry. The two powers in the South Hills.
That featured a lot of what we're going to see all night long. Power running. And if you're going to have power running, you better have power blocking. We saw a bunch of it right there.
Mulkern now on the approach in the boot. Careful. And they try to keep it away from Hagee, but he's got it here. Hagee heads up the field. A flag thrown behind the play, and he is swarmed under as he gets out to the 20-yard line. And let's get the official call here from referee Don Woodward. Well, that is going to back Mount Lebanon up even further, so Chris Herring can't like this start. Looked like he almost had a conversion on that third down play. Receiver out of bounds, and now they're going to start inside their own 10-yard line, back at the 9 after the short return and then the penalty on that return.
This is one of those situations which makes it that much tougher to get your flow going early in the game. You know, you punt away the ball and you get a penalty on your punt, and the punt comes a little bit short. You're worried about the pressure, and now you get this on a kickoff return. You want to get into the flow of the game.
White grabs in motion. Pitch to Hagee. They try the right side. Hagee spins out of a tackler, and Hagee, oh boy, a beautiful run there. That looked like it was going to be disastrous, but Hagee, that's why he's one of the best, turns that into a good gain on first down.
Well, this is what makes Luke Hagee. Take a look here now. Got a little pitch out. Now Hagee sees it, sees the hole. Okay, now he got a guy coming. I'll spin off. Now he covers the ball up well. Very intelligent runner. Young man who's got not just strength and speed, but excellent vision and understands the game.
Let's see, a 7.5-yard average and 19 touchdowns for Hagee. Picked up 8 on that first down run. We'll bounce it out to the left here. He's going to pick up first down yardage, stays on his feet, cuts back to the middle of the field, and Luke Hagee all the way out to the 37-yard line.
All right, take a look at Luke Hagee on back-to-back plays. We saw him as an inside runner. Now take a look as an outside runner. Bounce it outside. Yeah, it's nice to have the, speed and, the smarts and the game brains and everything, but you got to have some speed too. And Luke Hagee showed some great speed and accelerating around the corner. Outstanding
Athlete all the way around for this Mt Lebanon team. Point guard on their championship team, WPR championship team, is a sophomore, and then there's a great center fielder on their baseball team as well. So a great athlete, Luke Hagee. Now Goff will try to throw one out there too high. It was intended for Troy Apke, incomplete. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Get all the information on your favorite football team straight from the head coach himself. It all kicks off with Mike Tomlin at noon, followed by Todd Graham of Pitt at 1 o'clock, and then West Virginia's Dana Holgerson at 1:30 on Root Sports. Press conference Tuesday. Of course, Mike Tomlin going to be looking back at that big game against the Patriots coming up on Sunday. Todd Graham can look back at a win over Connecticut. West Virginia taking on Rutgers tomorrow in a Big East matchup. 2nd and 10.
Who did they lose to last week? Would that be Syracuse?
The alma mater. Pitch to Hagee. Hagee tries to bounce it outside, and he is corralled for a loss on the play. Zach Dietrich, who had that touchdown run, comes up and makes the stop. There's also a flag on the play.
Boy, Mt Lebanon is really having the problem of shooting their toes off. Okay, so we got a little look coming down the line here. There's big old 79, Arthur Goldberg. And Goldberg says, come on, let's go, Luke, get out here. But you got nice play there by Zach Dietrich, avoiding any blocking and coming up and making the hit.
Well, let's see what the call is going to be. Officials over there talking to Jim Render, and it looks like Jim Render's original call was going to be maybe to refuse this penalty after the loss in the play. Let's get the official words from Don Woodward. Well, they are going to accept the penalty, so it takes it all the way back to the 26-yard line. Spot of the foul infraction, so that is a lot of real estate they have to cover to pick up a first down here in a 2nd and 21.
Yeesh. Should be one of those deals where fans get to make the call. Vote on a play.
Well, they've moved Hagee out to the slot on the left side with Apke. They have Graziano down at the bottom of your screen, which you'll see when we widen out here. And Don Woodward's getting the clock reset.
Okay. See, all of this, Mt Lebanon standing around. The guys are just standing around. Then you get a penalty and you go back. You a couple plays, good plays, you go forward. And then, and they've just not had that opportunity to get into the rhythm of the game.
Also, with this delay, extra time to identify where Hagee is and what you might want to do against him. Goff trying to set up the screen. Now Goff in trouble. Goff is going to have to scamper out of bounds, being chased there by Ian Park, and he ducks out of bounds around the 31-yard line, so might have picked up about 4 yards or 5 on that play.
Well, you can see right here, Goff drops back. Now take a look at Rory Blair. Wow, just missed on a big old swat right at Goff, and Goff does what he should do, get on out of there, because you got some major league meat eaters out there chasing you down.
They're going to mark him out back at the 29, so just a short pickup of 3 is going to make a 3rd and 18 here for the Blue Devils offense. Hagee back in the I formation. Hagee will get the call, and Hagee will be hit in the backfield and dropped. Just a short gain. Austin Stefan out of his linebacker position, blitzed up, made the hit, and just a pickup of a couple. And so Mount Lebanon will be forced to punt once again.
Well, take a look at Austin Stefan just coming up here on a rundown blitz. And you're thinking pass. I mean, you know, you think of anything, a draw or anything, but Jim Render dials up a run blitz and wham. Kicked that one right in the teeth.
Well, this is an Upper St. Clair defense that has shut out 5 of its 8 opponents this year. A formidable challenge. Roth with a boot, hangs up a high one. Fair catch called for him, and now unable to field it was Wilcox, so it will roll dead around the 36-yard line. So Upper St. Clair flexing its muscle on defense will get its 2nd possession, already up 7-0. Beautiful, thank you. Sounded okay coming down or what? Great. We're happy. How about that? Space Cowboy.
What's that?
Cookie.
Mount Lebanon might have brought more people in Upper St. Clair.
Good mosh pit over there. Back with McDonald's High School football and Root Sports at Panther Stadium, where Upper St. Clair are leading Mount Lebanon in a great traditional rivalry. 7-0 the score. Upper St. Clair gets its 2nd possession now. Mount Lebanon really has had some trouble getting on track offensively.
Well, they really have. I mean, they've not been able to establish any sort of rhythm and flow in the game, and it's really hurting them now.
Conwell will give to Dietrich. Dietrich trying that stretch play again to the right side, and this time hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Good open field tackle out there by Doran Graham.
That's a nice job of setting the edge and making the play. He gets outside Doran Graham, and you got problems. Take a look now. You're just up there, and you get a nice little, whoa, that was close to being the old horse collar there.
Fake, Conwell keeps. Cuts back to the right, and Conwell will get out to the 44-yard line, just going to be a couple yards short of a 1st down. Boy, Upper St. Clair, you talk about this battle of the trenches, and right now you'd have to say Upper St. Clair is winning that battle.
They are. They've gotten into a groove, and they're a strength-oriented run-blocking line, and they're big and strong, and they come off and they get those hand hocks at churning, and they just push, and it's a great job. They're an explosive group, and you look at that offensive line, you know, with the guys from the center out, Austin Park, Ian Park, and Jake Redzakanis. I mean, they are guys that can flat back and roll off that front foot.
Conwell, play action pass, going to throw, intended for Wilcox, too high and incomplete.
You can see when you have success in the run game, Kinger, that's what you get on play action. Fake that handoff, and then you got people stepping up in the line, the linebackers being sucked up. Gives you some open areas to throw to, but right now Conwell's been erratic in his throwing.
Jack Schwaba was trying to lobby for the Upper St. Clair to go for it, but Jim Render's a little too early in the game maybe to be trying that. And so Steve Gannon will settle back in punt formation, Luke Hagee deep. And a good boot. And he's going to chase Hagee back. He's going to take it at his 2-yard line, and he's going to be forced out of bounds. Now a late hit coming. So boy, Luke Hagee, maybe a dubious decision there, but it may wind up being okay for Mount Lebanon because it looked like it might have been a late hit at the end of that play.
Boy, as smart a player as Luke Hagee is, that wasn't a good decision right there. Unless, of course, he planned on the late hit coming.
Well, you know, going to Cornell, maybe he's got that ability to sort of factor ahead what's going to happen.
The probabilities of getting hit. Take this ball. Indeed.
Oh, they're going to say no flag. So Don Woodward is going to wave that off. No late hit, no flag, and poor field position once again for the Blue Devils offense. And Chris Herring is really not understanding why there was no infraction on the play. Wants an explanation, not going to get one that's going to satisfy him. And it's going to be 1st and 10 all the way back at the 6-yard line.
He's a competitive dude, is Chris Herring. I mean, fierce competitor at WVU, fierce competitor in his time in the NFL.
White in motion. Give to Hagee. Hagee will cut back to the left. Find some room. Gets to the outside and gets down around the 10-yard line. So a good run on 1st down for Luke Hagee. Lacey Collins with us again tonight, roaming the sidelines. Lacey.
Rob, on the field, you'll see Upper Sinclair in red and black and Mount Lebanon in blue and gold. But in the stands, you see pink. This is the official Pink Out Week all through the Whitfield. Coming up during the halftime, I'm going to speak to Jennifer Kem, the co-founder of Young Women's Breast Cancer and Awareness Foundation, just how you can get involved. And, of course, wear pink.
Lacey, thanks very much. That's a program started a few years ago that has really, really been growing. And Lacey will have much more on that coming up as Hagee gets the carry, crosses the 15-yard line. Looks like he's going to be just shy of a 1st down.
We're going to get a look right here. Take a look now. Goff hands off. Hagee's got it right there. And he's got a nice hole, just rips up into it. And you can see Austin Steffen making the hit along with some help.
Well, they are going to measure this. It is close enough. Well, Chris Herring could use a break to go his team's way.
They need
7-0.
You need this 1st down. They got to get limbered up. They got to get all the mojo rolling.
Well, it's going to be just short, as you see there. What would that be, Wolf?
That'd be a skosh.
It's a skosh.
Yes.
So 3rd and a skosh, or 3rd and inches, as we like to sometimes more traditionally say here on the screen.
Wow. The skosh is always the more accurate measurement.
I'm not sure we know how to spell that. That might be part of the issue. So 3rd and a skosh as Luke Hagee deep in the I formation. Mount Lebanon really been unable to generate anything offensively here. Give to Hagee. Hagee finds room off the right side, hit by Dakota Conwell. Good collision there, out to the 20-yard line, and it is going to be a 1st down, and now some extracurricular activity as Schwaba getting into it, and it looks like he may have picked up a penalty.
Well, the big thing is get this 1st down. If you're going to get this 1st down, let's go behind the big man. That's Art Goldberg right there coming off, and you got Alex Buxer. They double team and create a hole. Now it's just up to Hagee to just be able to hang on to that ball and hit that hole. And you see right now they're marching off. Big 15 here, Kinger.
And that's there's the numbers for Luke Hagee. Came in averaging 7.5 yards per carry. A little under that today, as you'd expect against one of these great defenses in the WPIL. And Jim Render wants an explanation of the late hit. There was a lot of pushing and shoving, and it's always the last guy doing the pushing that gets caught. And this time it was Jack Schwaba.
There's no question about it. You got to hold your emotions in check. You can't let them get the better of you.
And they give up to Fayette up the middle. They're trying to spring him. And Fayette 20 carries on the season, so rare work for him. He's normally out there blocking for Luke Hagee, but gets carry number 21 in the season, so he's good for 2.5 carries a game.
You got to give him a bone every now and then, you know. He does a great job. Jack Fayette does coming off and belting people. So you got to feed him a little bit, reward him.
And no gain in the play. 2nd and 10. Off will remain under center. We had under 2 minutes remaining here in this 1st quarter. Give to Hagee. Hagee will find a little seam, and then that seam closes quickly. Just a short gain in the play. A couple. Carlton Gibson into the stop defensively for the Panthers.
You can hear the crunchification going on in the trenches down here. Wham! You know, if you get a good look at the Mount Lebanon line, when they come off the ball, these guys are good flat backers. Just listen. Boy, that's going to hurt in the morning.
It's all about tonight, isn't it? When you get a great rivalry like this.
Oh, yeah.
Hagee in motion. flag on the play. Goff rolls out, dumps underneath to Graziano. He's going to find nowhere to go at the 40-yard line. He runs into a swarm of Panthers. So a pickup of just a yard or two when they needed more like 7, but there is a flag on the play, so let's see what the call is going to be.
We got a good look at Goff as he rolls the pocket. That's nice. You know, you got a little heat been coming in from Upper St. Clair, being able to get some rush going, a little heat in the kitchen, so to speak. Well, move the pocket. Get yourself out on the edge.
Carlton Gibson makes another nice stop on that play, so it was an illegal shift. Let's get the official call here from Don Woodward. So 4th down, Mount Lebanon's offense still out on the field. The ball at the 36-yard line. It's going to be a 4th and 4. And Chris Herring's got his offense out there.
I had a feeling. They're just trying to make sure that they don't get all lined up quickly with that punt block team. But it can work both ways.
Goff gets the snap. Here's the boot, and he lays into a good one here. Wilcox will take it back at his 24-yard line. And Mike Wilcox wrapped up and taken down immediately by Doran Graham. Excellent coverage by Doran Graham on the play.
That's a nice job of getting downfield. Doran Graham making a big hit in the open field. You can see right here, number 4. He's out there, and he's frisky and playing hot. That's the way to wrap him up and bring him down.
So Upper St. Clair will take over 3rd possession of the game. As we take a look at some of the commitments here for each team, we mentioned a lot of talent out there. Brought to you by PNC Achievement, with Dakota Conwell going to Pitt, Ian Park and Jack Schwab to Northwestern, Arthur Goldberg to Wisconsin. Luke Hagee had the offer to Pitt, decided he wanted to go to Cornell instead. Lots of talent, those just the seniors, keep in mind on each team. Pitch to Dietrich. Dietrich off the right side, tracked down from behind by Will Gladden, the big nose tackle out there, doing some work along the defensive line of scrimmage.
Another Beefalo getting out and that quick pitch, getting down the line and launched himself in the air. That's the way you got to, just lay out, man. You know, this, you can see at the end of a lot of these plays, you get guys a little bit beefing on each other, a little bit of pushing. I mean, it is a rivalry. You can see where the emotions are hot out there.
A.J. McGuire has checked into the game. We'll see him and expect to see Matt Paxton as well, but that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. Upper St. Clair in this great rivalry game with a lead over Chris Herring's Blue Devils. It is Halloween weekend, and it is Zach Dietrich who has been carrying the mail. This 13-yard touchdown run, giving Upper St. Clair the 7-0 lead as we head towards the second quarter.
McDonald's High School football on Root Sports Pittsburgh is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com, definitely worth the click. By Isley's Original Chip Chop Ham and Barbecue Sauce. By PNC for the achiever in you. And by S&T Bank, relationship banking, one customer at a time. You're liking this Mount Lebanon rooting section right in front of us, aren't you? They're going crazy. Look at them. They're going nuts. There they are. Look at them. They're going wild. They've been, they got here before the game and they were jumping up and down and enthusiastic. And, well, it's one of the things that makes high school football so great.
Oh, absolutely.
Opening play of the second quarter. Conwell will give to McGuire. McGuire squirts through a hole, and Doran Graham gets him, but can't bring him down. And A.J. McGuire, boy, it's really nice that they've got Dietrich's the big guy they can use to pound at you, 6'1", 215. McGuire's kind of a scat back type, and then we'll see Matt Paxton probably later who's kind of in between.
Well, you get a kick out block, you got a lead block, and all McGuire's got to do is find that hole. And indeed, he does a great job here. Take a look at it from the side view right here. You got a big hole right there to just gash him. You double team down on the inside, kick out, and get that lead power, man.
First down run by A.J. McGuire.
That's how you attack running downfield there.
A whistle from the back judge. Let's see what the call is going to be. Usually against the offense when it's that late. Perhaps a delay of game or an illegal move.
Referee's busy tonight.
And it is a delay of game from Don Woodward. Hey, Jim Render, what a spectacular coaching job he has done in his career. Mentioned last week, career win number 350, by far the most among all WPIL coaches, and obviously still adding on to that total.
He is indeed. You don't show any signs of slowing down either.
And you can see, Wolf, you made mention of that rivalry game. A lot of early penalties. Some nerves. Conwell now in trouble. Conwell will roll to his right, gets out of trouble, and then is going to go out of bounds to the 35, and then he is hit late by Arthur Goldberg. So they had to stop. It would have been a second and long, but Goldberg with a late hit, and Dakota Conwell comes up and was not too happy and is ushered away by Austin Stefan.
Well, number 7'9", Arthur Goldberg, got a little bit of mean in him and does. And right here you can see got Conwell coming off and just goes out of bounds here. And then Goldberg, you got to hold up there, young man. Right here, Dakota is way out of bounds. And Chris Herring was all over him.
Yeah, that was not particularly close. Sometimes you see that call when it's close, but that was not close. Goldberg clearly hitting him late, and now Goldberg will get a brief respite from the game.
That's what we call a timeout. All parents will recognize that.
So with that first down, Upper St. Clair moves into Mount Lebanon territory. First down, Conwell on the run. Going to try the outside, and Conwell will be bounced out of bounds. Late flag coming in. May have been a face mask on that.
Sure looked like it. If not, wow. I'd be surprised. But anyhow, it looked like he got a full handful of the cage. Chris Herring is right now going, oh, you got to be kidding me. What are we doing here?
And that was Alex Buxer, the big sophomore who came in. And here's a call again from Don Woodward as the penalties continuing to mount up.
Well, again, it's more the Mount Lebanon unable to sustain anything, either offensively or defensively. And right here, we're going to get a look. And right there, Alex Buxer reaches out. And oh my, that was a pretty good tug. Another angle here, playing off on the block, and you just reach out. And yeah, there ain't no missing that one.
So 2 plays, 30 yards of penalties. Upper St. Clair with the ball on the 32. Conwell will try the left side, has some room out there. Conwell gets to the edge, and he'll head out of bounds and pick up 9 or so yards on that first down run.
The first thing Chris Herring's probably doing is going, is there a flag out there anywhere? Yeah, we've been having a share of them right here. All right, let's take a look at Dakota Conwell. Takes it in the shotgun. You got McGuire out there getting the blocking. You just run as far and fast as you can as you head for the sticks.
And they're going to mark him out of bounds back at the 24-yard line. And they're having some troubles with the chains over there, so it's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. They get those set. Chain gang had to drop and run on that one. A lot of meat coming towards him on that play.
Get out of town.
Conwell will keep off the left side. Now he tries to cut back, and he's brought down loss on the play. That's Max Goldberg, who comes in and stops Conwell for a loss.
Well, that's the twin. He comes upfield, makes a great play. That's a great job by Alex Goldberg. Take a look now. Look for him. 8-6. Plays off a block, then comes in and wraps him up. That's the way to penetrate, get upfield, and wrap the man up.
We mentioned Max Goldberg and Arthur Goldberg are twins. Arthur 6'4", 280, Max 6'3", 214.
Like I said, not exactly twins. But can you imagine having to foot the bill for those two, huh?
That's a lot of eating, I'm sure, going on at the Goldberg household. 3rd and 4. Conwell in the shotgun. Back, going to look to run on the quarterback draw. Keeps it, heads up the middle. Big collision as he gets down near the 16-yard line. As he and Jack McMahon had a meeting there, and it's another 1st down for the Panthers.
Oh, that's a nice drawn-up play. You got a little shotgun action with a little draw. Let those guys get up in the gaps, and then you just wall them off and let Dakota Conwell run. Just take that baby and go straight away. You can see right here, Dakota just counts 1,001, 1,002, or maybe it's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I don't know what they're using.
He's a big guy, 2'6", 215, as they get another trip into the Range Resources red zone. It's A.J. McGuire who gets the 2-yard run on 1st down in their previous trip to the Range Resources red zone. Upper St. Clair getting the touchdown run from Zach Dietrich, 13-yarder to put him up 7-0. Now marching here again, thanks in no small part to back-to-back personal foul penalties.
No question about it. You know, again, Upper St. Clair has been winning the battle of field position here. They've had a short field. Mt Lebanon's had the long go, but Mt Lebanon also is helping their own demise here in the 1st half by taking too many flags.
Conwell off the left side, has plenty of room. Conwell sprints towards the end zone, brought down just short of the end zone. But a good run by Conwell. It was Hagee who came up and made the stop, but all the way down at the 2-yard line on that run for Dakota Conwell.
Well, one of the things you love, you get that snap, you just head out. But when you don't want to run east-west, no, if you're Dakota, you want to be in North or South Dakota. That's it. Head north and south, baby. Get to that goal line, and that's just what he does.
His brother Dane, a running back on the 2006 championship team. Won not only the WPIAL title, but the state championship as well. Dane would have been proud of that run, and here's another run for Dakota Conwell, and he is into the end zone. Dakota Conwell, last 2 carries on this possession, able to amass the last 15 yards, a 2-yard touchdown run, and Upper St. Clair has taken a 2-touchdown lead.
Well, this is nothing more than blunt force trauma being inflicted by Upper St. Clair. Put it in the hands of Dakota Conwell, and then just have at it. And we've seen him going to one side, the other side. Right here, it's just a power off tackle, put the shoulder down, and roll on into the end zone. Like I said, blunt force trauma here.
Dylan Mulkern on for the extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good. And Upper St. Clair has gotten 2 touchdown runs, 13 yards from Zach Dietrich, 2 yards from Dakota Conwell. They lead over their traditional rivals, 14-0. The regular season may be over. It ends tonight, but our coverage of the WPIL most certainly is not. We've got every playoff round. It all kicks off next Friday at 7:30 on Root Sports. The teams jockeying in this final weekend for playoff positioning. Obviously here we have the Quad West Championship on the line. You see the food court rather busy. A little mosh pit out in front with all the students hanging out from Upper St. Clair. But I mean, this is you're jockeying for position, and then next week, you worked all this time, Wolf, and then you're trying to get to Heinz Field, and then next week it really starts, huh?
I thought you were talking about jockeying for position in the food court.
Well, we know how good you are at that.
Oh, yes.
Unparalleled.
Yes, indeed. No, the road to Heinz, it's starting next week.
And Mo Kern getting set to kick off one more time. And Squibb a short one. Takes some bounces, and now it's still loose. And Upper St. Clair has pounced upon it. We mentioned how good their special teams have been, and they come up with another big play on special teams.
Oh, my goodness. Chris Herring's got to be pulling his hair out. Take a look right here. You got a little pooch kick. Just kick it along the ground there, and you just want to pick that ball up. But you know what? You got to secure the ball before you do any sort of running. And right there, you can see the young man looked like his head was popping up. And that ball went right through.
And so Upper St. Clair, fresh off another score. Again, aided by some penalties. Chris Herring has to be worried about his offensive production, also the penalties. And boy, he needs to come up with some way to stop this potent Upper St. Clair offense. High snap, and Conwell is just going to have to eat it. And he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play.
Looked like somebody spiked the ball at a volleyball guy, and he's setting it up. My goodness, take a look at this rocket. Boom. Dakota does a great job of just getting his hands on it. You can see right there, nowhere to go after that.
All kinds of penetration. Will Gladden in there, as well as Dylan White, Max Goldberg. So a loss of a couple on the play back to the 35-yard line. Still plenty of time remaining here in this first half. 2nd and 13.
There's been so many flags, it feels like a herky-jerky start here through the whole first half.
Conwell gives to Wilcox on the reverse. Wilcox looking for some room, and Wilcox will get back that lost yardage and plenty more down inside the 30, close to the 26-yard line, which is going to set up a 3rd and short.
Boy, that'll make any defense flat-footed. What'd you do? You got here, Dakota Conwell, you fake a handoff. Now you give it on a reverse coming back around. As you can see right there, you suck the guys inside, and then you get to the perimeter and get yourself some yardage there.
So timeout on the play. Upper St. Clair uses a timeout, facing a 3rd and 4. They are up 14-0 over Mount Lebanon, the traditional rivals squaring off for the Quad West title. It's been all Panthers so far. We mentioned all the talent out here today. How about some famous alumni for Upper St. Clair baseball? Sean Casey played briefly with the Pirates, also with the Reds, of course, in football. Sean Lee went to Penn State, now with the Cowboys, having a heck of a season in Dallas. We're hoping to talk to him a little bit later on in the program. Kirk Ferentz, the Iowa head coach. How about Todd Haley, the Chiefs head coach? And in hockey, Ryan Malone, former Penguin, now, of course, with the Tampa Bay Lightning. The famous alumni for Upper St. Clair.
I will never forget when Ryan Malone took that slap shot in the face. Oof. then right back out on the ice.
Yep, tough guy.
Oh.
Panthers on a 3rd and 4. Dakota Conwell off the left side. Going to pick up first down yardage. Going to pick up more than that. He's going to get into the end zone. 26-yard touchdown run for Dakota Conwell. And Upper St. Clair is up 20-0.
Oh, Dakota. What a run. And what an explosive run. And again, this whole second quarter, it's been kind of like just like a lull, with all the flags and everything. And then suddenly we get Dakota coming here and watch. You got a little fake handoff. Now you got the kick out there. You got Reza Candace getting up there, getting a block, and you just follow those guys, and you find that crease that takes you up the sidelines and into 6.
Killing Mo Kernon to try the extra point. Snaps down, kick is up, and that kick is good. And Upper St. Clair up 21-0. Jim Render calls the timeout and gets this play called, and Dakota Conwell takes care of it.
Oh, it was a beautiful job. You pull the backside guard, tackle, you lead up. First man kicks out, second guy turns up, logs around or seals the inside, and Dakota just follows him around and then finds the end zone. And as I like to say, there's no 6 like a quick 6.
And that was a quick 6. 3 plays, 32 yards. And we talked about the Upper St. Clair special teams. Don't forget how this started. The little squib kick, they come up with a fumble recovery. This is a team that's blocked 5 punts, returned 4 of those for touchdowns. They have a punt return for a touchdown from Mike Wilcox. A.J. McGuire had a kickoff return for a touchdown last week. And now the squib kick, and they come up with a turnover there. That sets up the short field and another touchdown. And boy, if you were Chris Herring right now, you've just got to try to find some way over this last 7 minutes and 18 seconds to get something positive established heading into halftime.
You've got to find a spark. There's got to be somebody. Who's it going to be? Somebody needs to step up, make a play, make a big play. And I know Chris Herring right now is looking around saying, come on, fellas, we need something here.
Upper St. Clair, I think, along with North Allegheny and Central Catholic, considering measuring rods for any team in the WPIL, and Mt Lebanon was eager to see how they were going to measure up, but it has been all Panthers so far. Here's the boot, and Orphanopolis is going to come up, and boy, he has trouble with it, and he's got to pounce on it down at the 18-yard line.
Oh my goodness. When it rains, it pours, and it's been raining and pouring a little bit here in the first half from Mt Lebanon here.
And now we have another whistle here and another flag behind the play.
Well, we got some more chippiness going on. Mt Lebanon just can't afford any more flags.
Oh, it's been a killer for them, no question. I mean, remember again, they got the kickoff return by Hagee out to the 19. Then you get a 10-yard penalty there. That brings you back, gives you poor field position. On what looked like it was going to be a 2nd and 15. They get the hit out of bounds. That leads to a first down and another Upper St. Clair touchdown.
Well, at least it's not going to cost Mt Lebanon field position, because they've really put themselves at a disadvantage with poor starting position throughout the entire first half here.
So with 7:15 remaining, a 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Well, you think of the fourth quarter as the critical quarter in a game, and it is if it's close, but you get the sense right now from Mt Lebanon, this is a critical juncture in this game. Goff will roll out, looking, going to throw, and a sliding attempt, incomplete. Orphanopolis laid out for it, but couldn't come up with the catch, so it brings up a 2nd and 10.
Oh, it was a heck of an attempt there by Orphanopolis, but he just was not able to squeeze the Sherman on this one. Take a look, Goff rolling out, throwing across his body, delivers a pretty good ball, and Orphanopolis got it, he just couldn't finish it off.
So 2nd and 10. Goff has completed 50% of his passes on the season, 617 yards. But again, this is an offense that's got more than three times as many rushing yards as passing yards. They want to be able to establish Luke Hagee. Hagee gets it on the draw, stumbles as he gets it, but picks up his momentum, and now crosses the 30-yard line, crosses the 40-yard line, crosses midfield. So Luke Hagee has had a couple of good runs, but really now, finally, for the first time tonight, springs a long one.
Well, get a little excited if you're a Mount Lebanon fan right here. All Luke, the force is with you on this one. Take a look right here. Hagee takes that handoff, cuts to the outside, and for the first time, he's got some serious running room. Nice job of getting upfield, some good downfield blocks being thrown there. But Hagee showed a nice patience in following his blockers and giving them time to get down the field.
34-yard run, and for the first time in this game, Mount Lebanon has crossed into Upper St. Clair territory.
This is the first time?
First time.
Wow.
Another whistle and a stop and play, and perhaps they're going to have to reset the clock again. Nope. And Don Woodward's going to say, let's play. 6:56 remaining. Goff back, looking on the slant, and incomplete. Intended for Troy Apke.
That was a whistle of a throw there. It was buzzing his hair. Take a look right here. Goff goes back, plants his foot, puts it right in there, and it's just a little bit out in front. Troy couldn't make the catch.
Pretty good coverage by Matt Paxton downfield as well. 2nd and 10. And this isn't just about momentum. I mean, Mount Lebanon needs to get some points here, Wolf.
Well, there's no question about it. They've got to have a spark, and the spark came in the Hagee run. Now let's see if they can cash in on it.
Goff, quick pass over the middle to Dylan White, and White drags a tackler and picks up the first down. It was Dakota Conwell who got a hold of him, but he's a big guy, is Dylan White. 6'5", 220, and able to drag Conwell forward for the first down.
All right, I like this now. Just a quick little pop over the middle. Let the big man range out there a little. Make smaller numbers have to pick up a big guy. Although he's got a small number, but he's a big guy.
And, you know, Mount Lebanon now maybe trying to loosen up that Upper St. Clair defense a little bit. 3rd pass attempt on this drive. Upper St. Clair's been creeping up, trying to take away that Hagee run. Hagee on the left side is going to have to cut back here, and Tuttle is able to wrap him up for a loss in the play. But, you know, as you see, as the ball's about to be snapped, you have 8 or 9 guys creeping up into the box to try to stop Hagee.
Indeed, and that's why, you know, Chris Herring, that nice little pop pass over the middle to White. You need more of that. You're going to have to throw some quick slants, some quick little pop overs the middle to the tight end or whatever. But right now, Jim Render is sending the dogs running downhill on a lot of plays, just on first down plays to, you know, eat up the, get some penetration, get into the gaps, kill the running before it gets started.
Under 6 minutes remaining in this first half. 4 on the play clock. Goff's going to have to hurry to get the snap off. He does so. Flag on the play. Throw deep downfield. Got a man down there, and it is complete for a touchdown for now. Again, there is a flag on the play. Apke was able to haul it in, but it looks like they might get him for an illegal shift.
Oh, you know, Chris has got to be feeling this one.
Flag came just as the ball was snapped. They got the ball off, so there was no delay, but Don Woodward explaining things here to Pat Goff.
And what a beautiful throw.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, my goodness.
Goff still trying to get an explanation. And here's the call.
I get another look at Goff dropping back. Didn't get a look at the infraction, but what a beautiful throw. Troy Apke runs under it. Man, that was something. That would have been just what Chris Herring needed.
The touchdown scraped off the board. It's going to be a 2nd and 16 instead. And look at the penalties for Mount Lebanon. 6 for 60 yards, 1 touchdown taken off the board. And some of those penalties aiding a touchdown for Upper St. Clair. Now they try Hagee off the left side and nothing doing there. As let's take a look one more time at that last play and see if we can pick up where the illegal shift happened.
I just didn't see it.
Well, it's the only thing I can think of is that they got one of the players for moving towards the line of scrimmage just before the snap. They did have a man in motion there, and perhaps that was the call. That was Hagee that was going in motion. Maybe they said he was, I don't know, but that would be a legal procedure, wouldn't it? Not an illegal shift.
I just wasn't sure if they had 7 men on the line there.
So 3rd and 16. Goff back, has to step up. Goff looking, trying to buy some time. Going to loft it down the sideline. And some contact downfield. Mount Lebanon looking for a flag, but no call. So good coverage and an incomplete pass. And so a would-be touchdown taken away, and Mount Lebanon will be forced to punt.
You're going to see right here, Goff just heads the sideline. So Dan Graziano, he just takes off towards the end zone. And they're trying to work a little bit of pitch and catch here based off the fact that Goff had to break the perimeter, get out of the pocket, and break off the route. That was a nice job by Graziano. Good idea by Goff. They just weren't able to hook up on it.
And Pete Goffin doing a good job as well to make sure that he didn't spring free. Here's the punt by Roth, and it is going to roll into the end zone. And so Upper St. Clair, boy, you know, again, Mount Lebanon, maybe you're trying to pin him deep there, but it will be taken out to the 20-yard line instead. So this has been all Panthers here in this first half, and they're going to take over with 4:27 remaining. Another chance to score here, perhaps. And here's our Olympic sports update brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Upper St. Clair on their 17th WPIL championship, their first since 2007 in boys golf, defeating Indiana and Peters Township at Cedar Brook Golf Course in Belle Vernon back on October 13th. So congratulations to the Upper St. Clair golf team, our First Commonwealth Olympic sports update.
I'm sitting there looking at 383, 387, 391 and go, oh, how do you win when you, oh, it's golf.
Here's a handoff off the right side to Dietrich, and Dietrich able to struggle back to the line of scrimmage, hitting the backfield on that play by Graziano. It does get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Okay, so what Chris is seeing is he's got the ability to get some offense moving here, but he needs a good stop by the defense. And it's been field position this whole first half for Upper St. Clair. So if they can get a stop here, they get another attempt at maybe getting putting something on the board before half, but they need a stop.
Go to Conwell in no hurry as he ambles to the line of scrimmage. Conwell will keep himself off the left side. Finds some room. Conwell crosses the 30-yard line. Ball pops free, and it looks like Upper St. Clair is going to recover. Mike Monzalewski was the man on the spot, so a great fumble recovery by him as Dakota Conwell lost the football, but it seems like every break is going Upper St. Clair's way right now.
Chris Herring must think he's on a rerun of the Hee Haw show where they sing gloom, despair, and agony on me. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. That's what's been going on right now. Take a look at this right here. You got Dakota taking that ball, and the ball gets knocked right out. You got a shoulder pad put right into it, but lo and behold, Upper St. Clair is able to recover.
So first down as they cross the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Conwell gives off the left side. Here's McGuire. McGuire pops outside. He'll be taken down as he crosses the 40 out to the 41-yard line. It's Tyler Roth in the stop.
Nice tackle by Tyler Roth coming up on McGuire. McGuire looked like he had an opportunity to get to the sidelines there. Pretty quick dude he is, but Roth put him down.
And you begin to wonder at some point in this drive if Upper St. Clair, content right now to run the football, will look to be a little more aggressive here now that the field position has improved out to the 41-yard line.
Well, you got the Hosses up front, and right now they've been winning the battle of the trenches. That is Upper St. Clair.
Here's the give to McGuire. Pops it outside. McGuire stays on his feet. Cuts it back inside now. Back pedals towards the first down stick. He's going to pick it up out close to the 49-yard line, so the clock will stop as they move the chains. And another good run by A.J. McGuire.
Nice job of A.J. McGuire. Able to read the blocking. He bubbles over. He got a kick out block, and so he goes over the top of it. In other words, he didn't go up inside of it, and does a nice job of getting the first down. You know, you see that hole open, but you're in a position where the actual contact of the lead blocker puts you in a position where you've got to bubble over or go outside of that trap block, and that's where McGuire found himself.
Conwell in the shotgun. Here in the 2-minute mark of this first half. Ball to 49. Conwell will keep out to the left side. Looking for some room, will cut it up, will cross the 40-yard line, stays on his feet, and there goes Dakota Conwell. And Dorian Graham leaps, but can't make the stop. Conwell, a 51-yard touchdown run, and Upper St. Clair has gone up 27-0.
Oh, look out, Loretta, because Conwell is getting his game gear going. Indeed, Dakota Conwell looking more and more like the brother that preceded him to Upper St. Clair, Dane Conwell. Take a look right here from the shotgun. You get a little kick out, but no, don't worry about it. You just run past that block, then you just cut it up. Nobody sets the edge correctly. Nobody's filling their lanes there for Chris Herring. And unfortunately, Dakota was not able to, the Mt Lebanon guy was not able to stop Dakota from getting into the end zone. Nice running.
Killen Mulkern's kick is up. Killen Mulkern's kick is good. And Upper St. Clair. Boy, what a statement as they wind themselves up towards the WPIL playoffs. This is a team, their only loss was to North Allegheny. They led in that game in the second half. Some rare turnovers by Upper St. Clair gave the Tigers excellent field position. They were able to come back and win that game, 28-21. But really, other than that, it has been smooth sailing for Upper St. Clair. And Wolf, from what we've seen today, I mean, again, over the last few weeks here on Root Sports, we've had a chance to see all the teams that are going to be the top contenders and some of the teams that would probably be grouped in that group behind them. I think most people would say it's North Allegheny, it's Central Catholic, it's Upper St. Clair. Then you have Penn Trafford, who's unbeaten. You would likely think that those are going to be your top 4 seeds. But we've seen a Gateway team, a McKeesport team that are very competitive. Shaler put up a good scrap against North Allegheny. Mt Lebanon looks like a better team than they've kind of performed tonight. So Upper St. Clair, though, heading into the playoffs, really making a statement that they are going to be one of the teams to beat for sure.
They are indeed. And did you mention Central Catholic in there? That grouping. I'll tell you, I've seen more good offensive lines this year than I think I've ever seen.
Upper St. Clair, Central Catholic, and North Allegheny all have outstanding
Penn Trafford
lines.
too.
There's that short kick again, and the 39-yard line that's going to be taken there, and Mt Lebanon will finally get some decent field position to begin a drive. You're enjoying local high school football tonight, but tomorrow we've got a big-time matchup in the collegiate ranks as Pac-12 rivals Washington State and number 7 Oregon battle on Root Sports at 3 o'clock. You're proud of your Syracuse Orange, and of course Roger Lenhart, our producer, West Virginia guy.
Yeah, old toboggan head. I'm going to pay for that later.
First down, the run to Hagee. Hagee looking for some room, and boy, room has been scarce. He's ripped off a couple of big runs, and he has that capability, but you know, I think if you're Mt Lebanon, you're looking for more 5, 6, 7-yard runs. They continue to get themselves in those 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations.
And a lot of it has been self-inflicted. They've had a problem with flags. I mean, and that's killed them field position-wise and drive-wise.
Goff will spread Hagee out into the slot. And one touchdown, would-be touchdown, taken off the board because of a penalty. Goff spins it out to Hagee. Hagee across midfield, first down yardage down to the 48-yard line.
That's a nice job of pitch and catch there by Goff to Hagee there. And that was a great job of Alex Buxer showing what pass pro looks like in the quad A. I mean, that's just nice offensive line play. Alex Buxer's 6'6", 290, did a great job using his hands, punching. I like that.
And just a sophomore, too. 6'6", 290.
Whew. He's going to slay a lot more beef before he graduates.
Goff back in trouble, looking, throws underneath, has it complete. And ooh, a nice job of hurdling out there by Troy Apke. Picks up the first down, and a nifty move out there, gets to the 32-yard line on that hookup with quarterback Pat Goff.
Well, that's a nice job by Goff getting outside the pocket and hooking up with Troy Apke. Take a look here. Again, a little heat in the kitchen. Okay, get out here, deliver it to Apke, and look at that. That's some quicks. That's a quick reaction, and right now it's getting down to less than a minute here in the first half.
Clock stops with the out of bounds. The 32-yard line, 51 seconds remaining. Mount Lebanon desperate to get some points on the board before the half. Mount Lebanon, Upper St. Clair bringing blitz. Goff now throws, has Apke down there. Oh, what a hookup. Great throw and great catch on the other end by Troy Apke, but what a terrific job by Goff escaping the pressure and finding Apke inside the 5-yard line.
Oh, they run a fire blitz up the middle, does Upper St. Clair, but Mike Goff, Pat Goff, he sees it and he gets outside the pocket. He heads out there, he's going to find Troy Apke just running a little flag pattern down there, just breaking one off towards the flag. He sees him, look at that. What a nice throw right there with coverage, and not bad coverage either.
And Pete Coughlin pretty much with him stride for stride. Now they bring Hagee back into the tailback position. 1st and goal. And they give to Hagee off the right side, and they're going to say Hagee is down just short of the goal line. And looks like Mount Lebanon's going to use a timeout here.
Boy, I thought he was in. From the angle we got back here, I thought it was going to be 6 for Hagee on that one.
I got him just about as close as you can get to the goal line without being in. But again, Mount Lebanon, and if you're Chris Herring, I mean, some of the themes you talked about, you have a touchdown taken off the board.
Ouch.
That could have been 7. You drop a kickoff. Upper St. Clair gets the ball at your 32-yard line. They convert that into a score. You have him in what should be a 2nd and 15 situation on an earlier drive. You get to hit out of bounds. That's an automatic 1st down. Then another flag on the next play, another automatic 1st down. 30 yards of penalties right there. I think if you're Chris Herring, you're saying, look, guys, you know, we're doing a pretty nice job here when we're not completely shooting ourselves in the foot.
No question about it. That's been the biggest problem, is doing those things, taking those unnecessary penalties. Things, you know, where it's killing your field position, killing you a drive-wise. You know, those are the things that have got to be frustrating Chris Herring, because they're better than what they've shown right now. I mean, we've seen elements of their game with their running attack and their passing attack. They're good, no question about it, but you cannot play a team like Upper St. Clair and help Upper St. Clair by making so many mistakes.
2nd and goal. As Goff gets under center. Has Hagee in the eye. Give to Hagee off the right side, hitting the backfield, but able to shrug through that and get into the end zone. So Mount Lebanon, with time ticking down here, 29.6 seconds left officially here on the clock at Panther Stadium, finally come up with their first score in this rivalry game and cut it to 28-6.
This is nothing more fancy than a fist in the face here. You got Hagee just taking a handoff and power eye, just drive over that right side. Follow your big boys over there, the Goldberg and Bookster. Big brawlers, big powerful dudes just hammering away there.
And here's Orphanopolis on to try the extra point. Hits off the crossbar. It's no good. Or the upright, I beg your pardon. So off the upright and no good. Upper St. Clair has that 22-point lead intact, 28-6. But if you're Mount Lebanon, at least you've got a little something positive to talk about heading into halftime here. Maybe some evidence for Chris Herring to say, hey, we can get something done in this game.
Well, that tune from Hee Haw might be playing in Chris Herring's mind right there again. It's like, oh, man. You know.
Yeah, you hate to see that, because in your mind it's already 28-7. Orphanopolis, a very good, reliable kicker for this team. And as we take a look at the scoring drive, unfortunately this results in 6 points, not 7. 6 plays, 61 yards, taking just a minute 26. Of course, the big hookup by Goff to Apke set up that short touchdown run for Luke Hagee of 1 yard.
Well, they needed this. They absolutely needed this, Kinger, because if you're going to have any sort of, you needed a spark. You go into halftime and you don't register any points, you're down by 28. Now, the unfortunate thing is just even that missed extra point, that in the mind of the players in Mount Lebanon was just like, oh. You know, I mean, if you're going to get a spark, you want a bonfire, and they've had the opportunity. They just haven't been able to convert it.
And again, keep in mind, too, Upper St. Clair will get the ball first to begin the second half. They'll do that squib kick, and it's just taken right there at the 29-yard line. And again, you know, this last drive, don't forget this, too, with 28 seconds left. We're saying, you know, when is Jim Render going to say maybe we open things up a little bit here and think about a score? And Dakota Conwell just runs at 51 yards for a score. So every time he runs the football, it's a scoring opportunity. So Mount Lebo's not, they're not through this first half yet here.
No. Oh, to be the message bearer of possible doom.
Just something to keep in mind here.
Be mindful. Be mindful.
What an impressive first half for Dakota Conwell.
Well, again, Dakota don't run unless those horses up front are doing their job, and they have been very, very noticeable in this first half.
Conwell will try the left side. Going to pick his way forward. Stays on his feet, gets out across the 35 out to about the 38-yard line. And you would think that might be the last play here this first half. You would think Upper St. Clair in no hurry. Again, they'll get the ball to begin the second half. And Dakota Conwell is going to just kind of wander over to the sideline. And what an impressive showing for Dakota Conwell and this Upper St. Clair Panthers team. taking on a Mt Lebanon team also like the Panthers, unbeaten in Quad West play. And Jim Render had his team ready, prepared to play, and they are up 28-6 in this big rivalry game at the half. It has been an impressive show for the Panthers.
It has indeed. It's been a power display. It's been all about those guys up front banging away and opening up holes.
Lacey Collins is tracking down head coach Jim Render, and he is ready to go. So, Lacey, let's go downstairs to you.
Coach, what did you like about your team capitalizing on some of the mistakes and the penalties that Mount Lebanon had in the first half?
Well, you know, you got to stay hungry in a game like this, and they kept their poise. We, you know, took advantage of the fumble, and we did well.
How about Dakota Conwell having 3 of the 4 touchdowns? And we talked before the game about maybe him not having the ball as much and looking for his other options, but he's also taking advantage of them when they're there.
Dakota's very capable, and, you know, tonight we're turned him loose a little bit. And you may see more of him.
All right, well, there you have it, guys. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jim Render. Little sly smile there. Yeah. He knows he's got one of the terrific players in the WPIL, and Dakota Conwell, 3 touchdowns in the first half, and Upper St. Clair leading by a score of 28-6. Zach Dietrich was the one who got it started for Upper St. Clair. Dakota Conwell did a lot of finishing as Luke Hagee some trouble getting on track, and Upper St. Clair, thanks to Dakota Conwell, leading 28-6. UPMC Sports Medicine halftime show coming up. Luke Hagee doesn't necessarily look like a workhorse in pregame warm-ups, but once the whistle blows, Mount Lebanon coaches saddle him up and put him to work.
Welcome to the UPMC Sports Medicine High School Halftime Show. Welcome to the UPMC Sports Medicine High School Halftime Show.
Welcome back to Panther Stadium. Currently, Upper St. Clair ahead of Mount Lebanon, 28-6 at the half. I'm Lacey Collins. And again, welcome to the UPMC Sports Medicine Halftime Show. If you check the Whippeal standings and the rushing leaders for 2011, you'll see Hopewell's Rochelle Shell at the top of the list. But just behind him is Luke Hagee of Mount Lebanon. They rush the same, they carry the same. Although, as Rob King explains, the physicality of it is a little bit different.
Luke Hagee doesn't necessarily look like a workhorse in pregame warm-ups, but once the whistle blows, Mount Lebanon coaches saddle him up and put him to work. He has 201 carries this year, which means he gets the ball about 25 times per game.
As much as they want to give me the ball, I'll take it. I mean, I love running the ball. I mean, running with a lot of guys in the box, but I mean, it's still fun. And then Saturday mornings are kind of A little sore, but people always say, like, how do you even wake up after like 38 carries after that game? I'm like, I'm not even that sore. It's usually like maybe like back's a little sore, legs are a little sore, but other than that, it's nothing really.
Hagee recently passed the 4,000-yard mark for his high school career, and he probably would have more yards if he played varsity as a freshman. But developing as a football player has meant more to Hagee.
I'm kind of glad I didn't play my freshman year. I don't think I was ready. I don't think I was big enough. I don't think I was mentally ready to play. People always see football, varsity football, as all a physical game, but it's a lot mental. If you make a mistake, you just got to let it go. And freshman year, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
Although he's gotten more attention for his success in the football field, Hagee's also started for Mount Lebo's baseball and basketball teams every season since his sophomore year. And somehow, through all that extracurricular activity, he's maintained nearly an A average in school. That academic achievement brought him an offer from Cornell to play football, which Hagee chose to accept, picking an Ivy League scholarship over big-time football scholarships from schools like Pitt.
My decision came down to I put football aside, and it was which school that I want to go to, and Cornell was the right school for me. I went down, visited Pitt's campus and stuff. I mean, beautiful campus, everything. It just wasn't the school for me. A little too close, and I just really liked Cornell. And school is the most important thing for me. I know I'm probably not going to go to the NFL, and so it comes down to what am I going to do after football. And Cornell was just the place to go.
Last week, we profiled the Clairton Bears and their dominance in Single A. But there is one team that could be ending that this season, and that's the Stowe Rocks Vikings. They've steamrolled through the regular season, and those two teams could be on a collision course for each other, and we could see it at Heinz Field. In Western Pennsylvania, the Single A class has long been ruled by two schools, Clairton and Rochester. But this year, Stowe Rocks might break up their regime. The Vikings are undefeated through 8 weeks, and they've already beaten Rochester earlier this year.
Well, the Rochester one was a big win. I mean, you don't like to earmark one game as a make or break in your season, but it certainly was a mark where we kind of figured out where we were as a team and as a group, as a bunch of guys.
Since the Rochester game, we haven't seen a team that quite compares to them, but we still have pretty decent competition, especially our next game with Cornell coming up. But I think, I'd rather our competition be a little harder to finish out the season so it can get us ready for playoffs.
Ford nearly got his wish last week against Shenango. The Vikings were up by only 12 at halftime.
I mean, we did not have a good first half. And, one of our players, one of our seniors, before I even walked in the locker room, had the team in complete silence, and he was the one doing the talking.
In halftime, he didn't do too much talking because me as a leader, I do the talking, he just does the coaching.
That motivation from Jeter spurred Stowe Rocks to victory, which clinched the conference championship and got their head coach an unexpected bath.
I'm glad the kids were excited, but I am freezing.
Coach Butchley would likely appreciate another cold Gatorade shower come late November at Heinz Field. But to get there, they still know they have a lot of work to do.
Every day I practice, we have to prepare for what's coming up next. They always say take one step at a time, but that goes hand in hand with the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you got to plan ahead, get ready for the playoffs, get ready for whatever's coming next.
We want to be as close to perfect as we can, because that's what's going to take. We obviously want to win a championship. That's our goal. We know that there are lots of good teams out there, and in order for us to do that, we have to sharpen our tools.
Down here on the sidelines and just about every other high school football game, there are trainers and doctors from UPMC Sports Medicine. They're there to provide immediate help for care of any players injured during the game. But they're also there to help out teams and players before the games start. Part of that help in advance is player nutrition, which is what Dr. Leslie Bonsi is here to talk about tonight.
Hi, my name is Leslie Bonsi, Director of Sports Nutrition, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and today we are talking about performance nutrition. First thing to think about is the timing. Your food and fluid is part of your equipment, so what you put in, when you put it in, and how much makes the difference of how good you are when you do your sport. Your practice and competition is more than just showing up for your sport. You have to back it up by an hour. And 1 hour before your body's physically active, you need to think about putting fluids in. So when we look at fluid, how much? Probably the equivalent of about 20 ounces 1 hour before. You could do water, you could do something like a sports drink, but it can't be a couple sips and it shouldn't be a gallon. And when you're trying to hydrate your body best for sport, the goal is gulp, don't sip. It actually leaves your stomach faster and does a better job. So the rule here, drink early, drink often, drink enough so that you can perform to your best. And the other thing I want you to think about is fueling your body appropriately. So, how much fuel should you have before and after exercise? About the size of a baseball, relatively small amount. So, that could be something like a half of a sandwich. That could even be something like a little bit of trail mix. Or, if you want to make your own, we might mix something like cereal and some nuts together. And you also want to think about what you do when you're done. Within 15 minutes, something in your body. Chocolate milk, this is terrific. So overall, when you are thinking about fueling your body, I want you to think pre, I want you to think post, what's in your bag, not just your sports stuff. You put some food and fluid in there, and that will allow you to be your best, both on as well as off the field.
Thank you, Dr. Bonsi. Still plenty of more to come, including scores from critical win and you're in games from around the WPIAL. And we will talk with Jennifer Kem about tonight's Pink Out to help raise awareness for young women's breast cancer. All that and more when the UPMC Sports Medicine Halftime Show continues on Root Sports. Freddie, you got scores? Okay, I'm ready for you. Bell Vernon. Bell Vernon, Elizabeth forward 7-2. Okay. The Hopewell game.
And I can't hear anything. What's it?
7.
7-0.
7. Wait, what's the score? In the third. Okay, West A 24-13? 24-14. Okay. Are we giving the Blackhawks score? Okay. Okay. $35-14. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to be on camera by myself first. Correct? Yes. Okay.
And then I look at you.
Yeah. Just like, don't worry about the step back just a bit. And then I'll bring you in. Once you see, you can. Welcome back to Panther Stadium. I'm Lacey Collins, and you're watching the UPMC Sports Medicine Halftime Show. Currently, Upper St. Clair is up 28-6 over Mt Lebanon. Now, normally the last week of the regular season in the WPIAL is a knockout, drag-out fight for those final playoff spots, but right now, there are only 9 spots still remaining. We will focus on a few of these tonight that need to win to get in, and currently, it's Elizabeth Ford ahead of Bell Vernon, 7-2. Now that puts him right in charge in the AAA. Moving on to the Parkway Conference, the Hopewell Vikings are in with the win. Right now, they're up 24-14 in the third against West Allegheny. Now, if West Allegheny can come back and beat Hopewell. Then the winner, Blackhawk and Newcastle, is in, and right now Newcastle is up 14-10 at half. And finally, in Class AA Century Conference, Keystone Oaks needs a win over conference champion Seton LaSalle, and right now it's Seton LaSalle all over KO, 35-14 in the third. Now tonight, as you've noticed, we've been talking pink out all night long. Fans and players and lots of fans, as you can see. Now this is all to raise awareness for young women's breast cancer. Joining me now is Jennifer Kim, and she's the co-founder of the Young Women's Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation. The pink out has been going on all month long, but it starts throughout all of Whitfield. And what was that brought into, and why did you guys want to do that with the foundation?
The pink out started 3 years ago in 2009, and it started from losing a mom in Mt Lebanon. And Elise Myers lost her mom, and she wanted to honor her memory. And so Mt Lebanon actually spread it all through the Whitfield. John Grogan, who's the athletic director, did email and contact everybody to get involved. The first year we had, I think, around 60 schools participating, and it's continued to grow each year. And it's phenomenal the amount of people that are involved.
Now, you mentioned to me earlier that you are a survivor as well, and obviously that's got to be something that near to your heart. And you were talking about your kids, and it's important to reach this group, the future kind of our country, and dealing with awareness of cancer and being okay with that.
You're exactly right. It's really important to reach this audience because people are being diagnosed below the age of 40, and many women aren't aware of that. It's not a tremendous number, but if you aren't aware of it, you'll be diagnosed later. So it is something that you need to be aware of. So it's important to speak to not only high school students, boys and girls, and also their parents, so they're aware of the fact that they can get diagnosed before 40.
How about for you as a survivor to see throughout the community, the two fire departments here, they work together, and just seeing the different communities come together to fight for one against breast cancer?
It's fantastic. I mean, and the creativity is amazing. I mean, the pink lights on a fire truck, and the firemen were all in pink, and it's fantastic. And it is nice because it shows that people want to find a cure, and they're interested in just letting people know that they need to take care of themselves, letting women.
Now, if anybody wants to have more information on the foundation, if they can help, if they can create a pink out at their school, if they haven't seen it, what can they do to get a hold of you?
They can go to our website. I believe you have it listed on the screen, and then they could also, just through the Whitfield, they can contact Mt Lebanon and John Grogan, just try to get more information. But the website's really the main place you would go to.
And you mentioned numbers, and every foundation and group tries to raise money. But can you tell about the money that's been raised from this pink out this year?
I actually don't have a figure this year, just because tonight is the night where it's happening all across Western Pennsylvania. So then we begin to get donations in through the course of November and December, sometimes even January. So it's hard to get a total before that. But in the past, in the 2009, we had 15,000 in donations, and then 2010, I believe it was 27. And so it's continuing to grow, and it's fantastic because it's all from the kids.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. And as the pink out continues tonight, right now, Upper St. Clair is up 28-6 over Mt Lebanon. You've been watching the UPMC Sports Medicine Halftime Show. Thank you. I'm Lacey Collins.
Joshua Plato, Mr. Dwayne Frislack, and Mrs. Priscilla Frislack, parents of James Frislack, Mr. Michael Rabasio and Mrs. Sue Rabasio, parents of Chris Rabasio, Sacramento section leader, Mr. Jim Saylor and Mrs. Bonnie Saylor, parents of Rachel Saylor.
Okey doke.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 senior graduating class of the Upper St. Clair High School marching band and cheerleaders.
Back at Panther Stadium, where the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils beginning to warm up here in preparation for the second half. That first half all Upper St. Clair, as the Panthers getting set to take the fields themselves here to begin the second half in this battle for the Quad West Championship between two traditional powers. And as we take a look at the first half, really all Upper St. Clair. First possession of the game, Zach Dietrich, 13-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, you just get the edge and you just head north and south and find yourself in pay dirt land.
And then Dakota Conwell took care of the rest of the scoring for Upper St. Clair from there, scaring Halloween weekend. But the scoring was done by Dakota Conwell. This touchdown run of 26 yards was his second touchdown run. Then again, Mount Lebanon had a touchdown taken off the board. They didn't convert. Next possession, Dakota Conwell goes 51 yards for the touchdown, his third touchdown of the opening half. And that put Upper St. Clair up 28-0. Mount Lebanon finally got something going in their last drive as Luke Hagee plunged in from 1 yard out. Extra point was no good. And so we have the 28-6 score. And as we take a look at our first half stats, Wolf, I think one of the things that's really going to stick out and really going to bother Chris Herring is that column with the penalties and penalty yards.
There's no question about it. I mean, look at it. 6 for 60. That's huge. And the timing of them was just gigantic. I mean, you think about it. Again, it took some points off the board, Kinger, and then you total that with the rushing yards that Upper St. Clair was able to mulch in that first half, and it kind of tells you the story of that first half.
It does indeed, and Upper St. Clair leading 28-6. Chris Herring's Mount Lebanon Blue Devils looking to rally here in the second half. We'll have it coming up for you when we return here on Root Sports. Welcome back. Time for our Westinghouse quarterback profiles. We take a look at Dakota Conwell, and we know he can throw the ball. Wolf, he can also run the ball as well, as we saw in that first half. 14 carries, 156 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, he was impressive. I mean, the young man is just so skilled and so strong and so fast, and he puts that nice little burst on right there. You can see him accelerate. He's got power to run through tackles, and he's got speed to run away from tacklers, and it's a nice combination to have.
6'1", 215 pounds. Came into tonight's game with 679 passing yards, 561 rushing yards. And Jim Render mentioning that for people that just sort of look casually at the statistics, Dakota Conwell's stats maybe they're not as eye-popping as other players around the WPIL, but he loves this young man, thinks he's a terrific football player, and we caught a real eyeful of why he's such a great player in that first half.
Yes, we did indeed. You know, he is an extremely talented young man. He got a real nose for the, he's got a real nose for the end zone, like all the qualities he brings.
Well, here's a guy who knows a little something about Upper St. Clair football joining us now on the phone, and that's Sean Lee, of course, the outstanding player now of the Dallas Cowboys. And Sean, thanks very much for taking some time out to talk with us. And I don't know if you're getting a chance to watch this football game. Your alma mater up 28-6 against Mt Lebanon. I'm sure you're liking that score. Well, I'm not sure if Sean can hear us or not. Sean, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's 28-6 here at the half. I don't know if you're getting an opportunity to see this game, but your alma mater against your traditional rival. I know you only got a chance to play him once in high school, but nice to see that score, I'm sure.
That is nice. It's actually very surprising. Usually Upper St. Clair Lebo game is a lot tougher.
Sean, what do you have as far as memories from your high school games? What kind of stands out to you, brother?
Well, just the first thing, just the atmosphere that we had at Upper St. Clair. We had a ton of support from friends, from family. Our whole class really rallied around the football team, and there was a lot of tradition and a lot of pride at Upper St. Clair. And that type of pride and tradition the players brought really worked hard because of that, and I think a lot of us left there and worked hard after high school because of the type of support we had.
Sean, you only got to play Mt Lebanon once. That rivalry went away during your first few years. What was it like when that rivalry came back? It doesn't seem right that Mt Lebanon and Upper St. Clair shouldn't be playing each other. You only got a chance to play them once. Of course, you guys beat them. Your thoughts about that and what it was like to finally get to play them your senior season?
No, it was a great game. I mean, obviously that's our #1 rival there, and I think as a freshman we played them in freshman football and lost to them, so it was a big deal coming back, trying to get a win against Mt Lebanon. We get to play them in basketball, we got to play them in a lot of other sports, but we always wanted to play them in football. And that's a game that you wait for, that you dream about as a high school football player.
Sean, you got to be glad that my running mate, my buddy, Tunch Ilkin, isn't coaching anymore, because I understand he put you at nose tackle in youth football. Now, what kind of coach was that, huh?
He put me at nose tackle and fullback. I thought I was very athletic, so he put me on the line.
Dakota Conwell, that second down run crosses the 35-yard line, going to be just short of a first down. Jim Render was your high school coach, obviously. He just picked up his 350th win as we take a look at some footage of Sean Lee here from high school. That's quite a milestone for Coach Render. 350, by far the most wins ever among WPIL coaches.
Oh, he is an unbelievable coach. I was blessed to play for him. I would say I've played for some great coaches. Got to play for Coach Paterno, but I would put Coach Render up there with all of them. He's a fantastic coach, and a lot of the guys, the winning and the tradition we have there is mainly Coach Render.
Dakota Conwell picks up a first down. Sean Lee is our guest. And Sean, you played for a great legendary coach, obviously, up at Happy Valley with Joe Paterno, and now have moved on to the NFL ranks and are having an outstanding season. What's the transition been like for you on the NFL level playing with the Dallas Cowboys?
It's been tough. I mean, last year I struggled with some injuries early in the season, and just trying to get used to the pace of the game, learning new defenses, getting comfortable was definitely tough. But I tried to listen to advice from Coach Render and control what you can control. That's one of the things he would always say, and I just try to work hard each week, get better and better, and I think it's paid off this year.
Boy, it sure has. One of the greats, not only in Upper St. Clair history, but the history of the WPIL. Sean Lee. Sean, thanks for the time, and good luck the rest of the season here with the Dallas Cowboys.
Thanks a lot, guys, for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, Sean Lee, and
what a fine young man.
He really is. Of course, his brother Connor kicked at Pitt, but yeah, the Lee family. A lot to be proud of with their raising somebody that's that respectful and obviously a great football player as well.
He's a terrific young man, I'll tell you.
And Dakota Conwell goes on the fade back shoulder to Mike Wilcox, a dangerous Mike Wilcox, and he hauls that in for the first down.
Well, again, now we're going to get a little look here at Dane Conwell throwing the ball. And Dane had a few get away from him in the first half here, but he throws it out to Wilcox, and Mike does a nice job of bringing that ball in.
It is
So special to get a chance to do these games, Wolf. I know you and I look forward to it every Friday night. We enjoy it. We love getting to the playoff action, and you know, you love all the players that compete. Some people go on to bigger and better things. Some guys, you know, go on to play small college football, or maybe this is the last time they're going to play football. But it sure is fun knowing that there's some special guys out there. A guy like Sean Lee, who's going to go on to, you know, he's a rising NFL star now, and it's fun to see these guys at the collegiate level and then watch him move on up through the ranks collegiately and then on into the NFL.
Oh, it is. You know, it's always special. You see a Sean Lee, you see him go through the high school, and he carries those memories of games with him. And talking about Coach Renner, then goes to Penn State and plays for the legendary Joe Paterno. He carries those memories, and now he's going to create more memories as a Dallas Cowboy.
2nd and 9. For St. Clair, putting together a nice drive here to begin this second half. Dakota Conwell bounces outside and tripped up from behind by Dylan White just when it looked like he might get the edge. And Mount Lebanon now defensively facing a huge opportunity here to stop Upper St. Clair in this opening possession.
Yeah, we're going to get another look here and watch a fine play that Dylan White makes here. Okay, you got Dakota right here. He takes that snap. Now he's just going to run right up the middle. You can see the big Goldberg was there, standing his way. So he says, I'm not going down there. But Dylan White runs him down from behind. Big play.
So now all the way back to the 40-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 11. Conwell stays under center. Conwell fakes the reverse. Going to keep rolling out, looking, and now just going to throw it away. A wise decision, and Goldberg brought him down. I think they may get him here for intentional grounding. Looked like he had Zach Dietrich sort of in the neighborhood of that play, but let's see it. It's going to be an intentional grounding call. So Mount Lebanon, mission accomplished here in this opening drive, keeping Upper St. Clair off the scoreboard.
No question. You got to come out and get a stop. Need a stop bad. And right now, again, though, the problem is Upper St. Clair enough to drive the ball for a little while. Now it's field position, but you needed that stop, and you got that stop. Nice job by Goldberg chasing him down here.
And I will say the field position is going to look a little better than when they had first down to the 39, got it down to the 35, and now going to have to punt it away from their own 46-yard line. It'll be Steve Gannon back in punt formation.
Mount Lebanon can get any kind of return here. Get themselves out of that deep hole.
Hagee and Graziano back deep. Oh, it is a good booming punt. Graziano going to call for the fair catch all the way back at his 21-yard line. So a fine punt by Steve Gannon, but Mount Lebanon makes the stop. They'll get the ball. They're looking to mount a challenge here in the second half. .31 remaining, third quarter, I beg your pardon. Upper St. Clair up 28-6. Mount Lebanon, their last two possessions. Again, remember they had that one touchdown call back, but they did get a touchdown. So trying to find that offensive rhythm they established towards the end of that first half. Again, penalties a big issue for Mount Lebanon, and clearly, you know, it starts with a stop. They got the stop, and now they've got to get that offense back rolling again.
They do, Kinger. I mean, you got to carry that over. They found some success in running the ball and then dinking the ball in little pop routes over the middle.
Goff will look to throw again. Now going to step up, and he is going to be taken down. So Goff dropped back to pass, but didn't find anything going there. He's brought down a sack on the play as it's Jake Radzakanis who comes in and makes the stop.
The Radzakanis, the guy's coming like a Wolverine with his hair on fire. The guy, you know, I like this guy. We've seen him play. He's a 3-year starter. That's impressive at a program like this to be a 3-year guy.
And we saw him his sophomore year was extremely impressive then. The second and long after the sack on the play. Give to Hagee on the counter. Bounces outside. Hagee trying to get to the edge. Crosses the 20. Now will try to cut back and runs into a swarm of tacklers. It was Gibson who got there first. Got some of the yards back and maybe picked up a couple. Going to set up a 3rd and 8.
Well, again, you know, you're looking for a little trap action here is what you're looking for. You got Big Art Goldberg pulling, but right there you got penetration upfield, so you got to bounce it outside. There's a nice stiff arm, but right there you've got a swarming defense, and that's Radzakanis all the way from the inside getting to the outside.
So it brings up a very important 3rd and 9. Goff back, looking. And now, running out of time, going to try to scramble forward, but he's taken down there. And it was Schwaba who came in, Jack Schwaba who came in on the sack. Lots of pressure on Goff, and it's a 3 and out for Mount Lebanon.
Wow, we're going to get a look right here at Goff as he turns around in the pocket. And you got a whole host of guys after him. And right here it comes up and boom. It's like being in the spin cycle of a washing machine right there.
There's your guy Radzakanis who got there first. See if Upper St. Clair comes after this kick. They do, but Roth able to get it away and bangs a nice one. Wilcox calls a fair catch at the 47-yard line, so pretty good punt there, but once again, excellent field position for Upper St. Clair, up 28-6 with a Quad West title on the line. I want to remind you this is our final weekend of regular season WPIL action, but next week on Root Sports we'll have a first-round WPIL playoff game. Of course, the teams to be announced. The pairings haven't come out yet. They will come out Monday, and then we will announce who we will have. 7:30 next Friday, first-round playoff action as the race to Heinz Field kicks into high gear.
That's always an exciting time. I enjoy it. You know, you just get all verved up and everything else in the playoffs.
Dakota Conwell in his shotgun. He's going to look to throw. Back. Doesn't see anybody. Now he's going to try to escape Dylan White. Gets to the corner and ducks out of bounds around midfield. So able to pick up something there. Got about 3 on that scramble. And, you know, you get into the playoffs, Wolf, and, you know, we always concentrate. Everybody concentrates on the top seeds. And, you know, is there a 4 or 5 who's going to be able to get in there? Remember, we had a few years ago, Bethel Park, you know, came out of nowhere to win that Quad A championship. So you, well, I should say out of nowhere, but I don't think a lot of people consider them the favorite going into that tournament. And they were able to get there and win the WPIL championship. So you never know. Once you get into those playoffs, everybody's got big dreams, you know, moving on and getting to Heinz Field.
No question about it.
Conwell will sprint out to the left side. Pick up a great lead block from Zach Dietrich, and Conwell is going to cross the 25 and get all the way down to the 22-yard line. Man, what a block by Zach Dietrich, and a big run again for Dakota Conwell.
Oh, and the Dakota's a little bit slow getting to his feet, but my goodness, what a block. A lead block by Dietrich. And Conwell gives it thumbs up. I'm okay, don't worry about it. The young man has put on quite a display tonight, has he not, Kinger?
And he is a load. You get him with that speed going at 6'1", 215 pounds down the field, and there are going to be some big collisions. Conwell sort of regrouping here now. Going to get the play called as the play clock down to 5. So they're going to have to hustle to get this play off in time. And they're not going to be able to. So Jim Render wisely uses the timeout.
Dakota's been all over the place, man. He's been running tonight. That last pass play, he must have had 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds in the pocket before anybody started to appear. You think about that. It seems like forever. 4 seconds. 4 seconds is just 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, Conwell, and people talk about burning timeouts, and that's a frequently used phrase. When your quarterback, who's now run, it's got to be close to 200 yards here in the evening, when he's a little shaky getting up and you have to use a timeout there, sometimes a timeout is well used. I mean, they say burning timeouts, but how often do you see the end of a half come and no timeouts have been used?
Well, that's it, Kinger. And look, the better thing is you burn a timeout, not burn a play. Because you never know when that play could spark something for the other side, because you're a little bit late, so you hustle up the line of scrimmage and then you run a play, maybe the formation isn't right or whatever, and you get a turnover or something like that. It's better to just say, whoa, let's just take a timeout here, let's reload, and let's come back full force.
Conwell, by the way, 191 yards rushing on 19 carries, 10 yards a carry average in the 3 touchdowns.
That's pretty good.
That is very good. Tight bunch here. Conwell will give to Dietrich. Dietrich will try the right side. Finds a seam. Dietrich stays on his feet. Dietrich is going to get into the end zone. A 23-yard touchdown run. Second TD of the night for Dietrich. And Upper St. Clair has pulled back in. They now have a 4-touchdown lead.
Whoa, my goodness. Zach Dietrich showing the way in the end zone here, but all you got to do, get behind that big horse, number 55. Zach Radzikanis, watch him, boom, gets a block out on the perimeter there and springs it open for Dietrich to head into the end zone.
Extra point attempt for Killen Mulkern. He's been perfect thus far tonight. 34-6 is the score. Snap down, kick up, kick good, and Upper St. Clair. Boy, what a statement they are making with this Quad West Championship on the line, up 35-6. And let's take one more look at that 23-yard touchdown run by Zach Dietrich.
Well, number 55 is the lead dog on this, and you see Radzikanis right there get his grill down and wham, slam, and just slobber knock somebody. That's all you got to do, because now the back, you got Dietrich come on and go, okay, I can take it either way, because I got some people on the outside that are getting blocks. That was nicely blocked, great running. Good stuff all the way around.
Boy, quick drive, 3 plays, 53 yards, just 55 seconds. Of course, had the big run by Conwell, and then the Dietrich 23-yard touchdown run. And Wolf, it seems to me like those stretch plays, they must be getting some really good work by, Jack Schwaba, first of all, but then Radzikanis and Monzalewski in there as well, kind of pinning those ends, because those running backs are getting out there, and there's just, you're looking at maybe one block on a linebacker or a cornerback, and they're free. That offensive line has been very, very impressive tonight.
They have, and when you block down with your tight end, you've also got to try to get up to the second level and get those people, and they're getting blocked in the wideouts and so forth for Upper St. Clair are getting blocks downfield, because anytime you get that much wide open running room, the wide receivers are getting their blocks, sustaining their blocks, staying on their guys. And then when you have, Radzikanis able to go out and get the guys setting the edge, it's all over.
You're looking at 6'1", 215 for Dietrich and Conwell. Just loads out there. There's Orphanopoulos looking for a little room and just not finding any. Boy, Upper St. Clair's special teams have been outstanding as well. Let's go downstairs again to Lacey Collins. Lacey?
Rob, I was talking to Coach Jim Render before the game. Last week, he won number 350. Now, he has more wins than anyone else in the WPIAL. And I asked him about what that number has in significance, and he said, all I want to do is get these guys to a championship. Now, that playoff run starts next week. If they get 351 tonight, though, he's still got a while to go to catch George Curry in the state of Pennsylvania, who picked up 413 victories over 42 years at Bearwick and Wyoming Valley West.
Thanks, Lacey. I would not put it past Mr. Render, who is, you heard Sean Lee raving about him, what a terrific job, how much he learned at the high school level from Jim Render and still carries through to this day as a member of the Dallas Cowboys.
Fundamentally solid as a coach, and you deliver that same thing to your players. Now, right here, you want to talk about fundamentals. This is fundamental football right here. Nice run by Hagee. Gets some good blocks up front, and it's just power. It's just running over, through, and into people.
Mount Lebanon now maybe a time to reset and try to reestablish what you do offensively. Again, they're going to be heading into the playoffs, and maybe with an eye towards that, seeing what you can get established here in this second half against this Upper St. Clair defense that has pitched 5 shutouts so far this season. Hagee picks up the first down.
Well, Chris Aaron needs us. I mean, you got to roll some first downs together, and they've not found an answer for Dakota Conwell. And that's been, I'm sure, a part of the game that Chris just is kind of gnashing his teeth over. But he's got a lot of company, because there's been a lot of people that have not been able to stop this crew.
And here's Hagee now with the broken eye. And Orphanopolis in motion. Give to Hagee off the right side, and not a whole lot going there. He might have picked up a yard off that right side. You know, you come out in the second half, you're down 28-6, Wolf. I think you're still thinking about winning the football game, and you don't want to give up yet. You're still going to need obviously some things to happen. You're going to have some bounces go your way. Some things are going to have to happen for you. But you know, that eye towards the playoff, and with the eye towards gaining some momentum towards it, I think they're just getting back to what they do best: run the football. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can put together a score. Then maybe we'll take a look at this game, but maybe a little larger view now for Chris Herring in this Mount Lebanon
team. I think that's a great point, Kinger. You know, there's other fish to be fried. It's a bigger game on ahead for both of these teams.
Goff back, looking, going to throw one deep. Has a man down there, and pretty good coverage intended for Apke, as that was Coughlin once again in coverage for Upper St. Clair.
We're hearing a lot of boos here on the sidelines of the Mount Lebanon fans, but not much has gone their way. All right, you got a simple little fly pattern here, and Goff lays a nice ball up there, and really Troy just kind of lost. I think he lost it in the lights. You know, it's around there, and that one arm gets up there. Coughlin got that arm in there, but
no call, obviously.
No call. Yeah, no call.
And that's what you have to understand as a footballer. If there's no call, there's no penalties. You move on to the next play. 3rd and 9. Goff back, and a lob one down deep again for Apke, and Apke once again covered well by Coughlin. Tried to go up to make the grab, but incomplete, and Mount Lebanon will be forced to kick it away.
Now that was a terrific play by Coughlin. Pete Coughlin maintained inside position right there, and then went up and high pointed at the ball. Nice job by Goff. Goff put this ball almost right on the money, a little bit led to the inside, but Apke had an opportunity to go to make a play on this thing. You can see right here, Coughlin makes a nice job of transitioning while running with the receiver to the ball.
Tyler Roth back to punt. Roth gets it away. And Wilcox loses the handle, but scoops it back up. Wilcox heads out to the left. There's a flag on the play, and he's taken down just when he was trying to jet the corner and maybe pick up some yardage there. Again, there is a flag behind the play. And so let's see what this is, as referee Don Woodward will give us the signal. Pretty nice job there downfield, making the stop.
I was impressed by Wilcox's ability to maintain his cool.
Yeah, didn't look bothered, did he?
Yeah, when you're back there and you're a return guy and that ball caroms off your hands, you've got to be feeling some panic. You got to be feeling a little bit of like, woo, I got to get that ball. But he was very cool, calm, and collected as he just gobbled that ball up and started to take off.
By the way, the guy who made that tackle, Matt McGraw, they call him Tug. And I'm wondering how many people remember Tug McGraw, the great relief pitcher for the New York Mets.
I remember him.
Maybe more people remember Tim, his son, right?
Right.
The country music singer. The ball back at the 15-yard line. First down for Dakota Conwell in this Panthers offense. Conwell gives to the fullback, and that's Stefan, and Austin Stefan will pick up about 3 yards off that left side. And let's take a look at Ian Park tonight, heading to Northwestern.
Again, Ian Park, big hoss here for the Upper St. Clair guys. He pulls out and gets his helmet on somebody, and you know, here's what I like. You saw it. He just stayed with the block. Sometimes you come around there and you make contact. You got to dig the guy out. You just keep churning in there, and when the defender then it tries to disengage and head off to get a tackle or whatever, that's when you can take him, knock him down.
That was Arthur Goldberg who that was against, and now the try off the right side of the draw, pickup of a couple out across the 20 to the 21. And Goldberg and Park matched up again there.
That's just a great meat-eater matchup, man. Get those two big hosses going at it.
Park 6'4", 290, and Goldberg 6'4", 280.
Oh yeah, that's good family fun.
That's a lot of size out there, Wolf. What'd you play at? What's your biggest weight at?
I played around, most of the time when I was with the Steelers, it was in the 270s because of the trapping offense. Then when I got moved to tackle, I moved up to 280, 85.
Pitch to the left side. This is McGuire, and McGuire picking his way out close to first down yardage. Looks like he's going to be just short at the 25. Needed to cross that 25 to get closer to the 26. Let's get an official decision here, but it looks from this angle like it's going to be short of the first down.
Jim Render's keeping it simple. You know, the little pitch plays, you got some of your traps and so forth, quarterback keeps.
No, it's enough for a first, I beg your pardon. So look from here, the way the change was set up, like he had to cross the 25, but he's right at the 25, and it's a first down. And, you know, also Dakota Conwell, and again, when you talk about guys, you know, amassing stats, Upper St. Clair has, you know, had so many lopsided wins this year that he's not playing a lot of second halves, or if he is, you know, what's the sense in running him a lot here? Just let somebody else carry the man.
Oh, exactly so.
And McGuire stopped for a loss, or maybe right at the line of scrimmage on what figures to be the last play here of this third quarter. Boy, Upper St. Clair, if there is any question that they are a legitimate Quad A contender, I think they have answered those questions emphatically tonight as they lead by the score of 35-6. And Dakota Conwell's got the four fingers up in the air. Fourth quarter is indeed on the way. And Dakota Conwell, a big reason Upper St. Clair is enjoying this huge lead. 3 touchdowns for Conwell. The defense doing its job as well. Upper St. Clair, the Dietrich touchdowns put them up by the score of 35-6.
Second down, coming to the Panthers.
What? Ribbon? Yeah, it's cool. What is that? I don't know where I could go. Just go like right here. Like that? Okay. So ready, go. What should we do? Okay, let's go.
High school football on Root Sports Pittsburgh is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By Trip Total Media, your source for high school football coverage. Trip Total Media, see what's next. By UPMC Sports Medicine. Visit upmcsportsmedicine.com to learn about expert care for athletes of all levels. Now, Lebanon cheerleaders haven't lost their spark.
No, they haven't.
Going at it, Wolf.
Either that or they're just trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's, you know, you got to love the bands and the cheerleaders and all the fans with the concession stands, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the quick reverse. And pretty good gain off that right side as Upper St. Clair now beginning to get to some substitutions and some guys that don't normally play. We do have a flag on the play.
Of course, because I jinxed us. You know, while we're off air, I said, well, at least there were no more flags, or not many.
Pete Coughlin, we've seen him on defense, gets a chance to get in there and get going on offense. We may see some more substitutions as the fourth quarter rolls on.
Jim's unhappy with that one.
And the call from Mr. Woodward, Don Woodward, the referee, is a hold on Upper St. Clair. It looks like it goes back to the original line of scrimmage, where it's going to remain 2nd and 10.
Well, if you're Jim Render, you've seen what you wanted to see. You know,
have you ever?
You cut loose Dakota Conwell, and you see, oh, that guy's a playmaker. You know, you got some other things going on. So,
Conwell, quarterback draw. Another flag comes in behind the play. Conwell going to dash out close to the 30-yard line, pick up about 4 or 5 yards on that play. Hey, it's that time of year. The Pens roll up their sleeves, pull out the garden tools, and rake up the Leafs in Toronto. It's a great day for hockey. Tomorrow at 6:30 on Root Sports. Get a chance to see 2 of the premier goal scorers in the NHL right now. Phil Kessel for Toronto, off to a great start. James Neal, obviously, for the Penguins as well. Penguins have been playing great hockey, Wolf. One of the busiest teams in the NHL in the month of October as well. Their 13th game tomorrow, their last game of the month, and then they get a break off before they head out west later next week. But 8-2-2 in their first 12 games.
you know, I often said football players are only the 3rd toughest athletes around. First of all, you got rodeo cowboys, then you got hockey players, or could be hockey players and then rodeo cowboys.
Yeah, football in that same realm for sure. A tough sport, and boy, the Penguins really off to a great start, even with more injury problems that they've had. Dakota Conwell will try the left side. Once again, able to get to the edge, cuts it back, stays on his feet. Dakota Conwell is going to look to rip off a long one, crosses midfield, crosses the 40-yard line. Dakota Conwell crosses the 20, the 10, reaches for the pylon, and they're going to say out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Oh my goodness.
An 84-yard run for Dakota Conwell from his own 15 down to the 1-yard line of Mount Lebanon.
You know, I'm surprised Jim Render's not out there going, young man, if you don't score, I'm going to kick you right in the keister there. Gadzooks, take a look now. Dakota Conwell just takes the snap, and he heads out and cuts back. And what a run. I mean, it's just straight sprinting right here. You got some other people trying to get in the way, but no way for anybody because Dakota just takes it down. And it looks like, I don't know, man, if his heel hit the tape. But boy, what a run. That was some kind of run. You know, to be able to have that vision, that wherewithal to run the sweep and then cut back, and then that kind of speed on that bigger frame.
20 carries, 275 yards. They'll give to McGuire off the left side, and A.J. McGuire, actually that's Stefan, I beg your pardon, to the fullback. Gets himself a carry. Austin Stefan only had 11 carries coming in. As you said, they got to reward those lead blockers, and he gets in on the touchdown parade.
Well, it's just a little handoff. You had to figure it. Dakota was a little bit exhausted there. So I'm just going to hand it off to my man, Stefan, and Stefan just plunges over from the 1. But Dakota, did you see him when he took the snap? He was still hugely raking in the oxygen, man.
10:57 remaining. Killen Mulkern on to try the extra point. And the extra point is up. The extra point is good. The mercy rule is intact. Who would have thought that in this rivalry game? Each team unbeaten in Quad West play. Austin Stefan gets into the scoring act. It is 42-6 Panthers.
Another score, West Midland, 27.
Football fans, show your school spirit and tell us where you root on Facebook. Like us at facebook.com/Root Sports Pit to brag about your school and tell everyone why your team is the best. Here's a scoring summary for you. 6 plays, 85 yards. Dakota Como, an 84-yard run. Took 3:18. Austin Stefan gets into the act. His first touchdown of the season. You got to like that. Here's senior. Rivalry game. Mount Lebanon. You play for Upper St. Clair. You get a touchdown. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool indeed.
So, you know, he's probably running down the field going, oh, man, he scored. I mean, he should have gotten in. And then, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to get the ball and get a chance to score. Yeah, that's all right. I like that. Ball's at the 26-yard line. And we'll, you know, when we think about what we've seen here, we've seen Penn Trafford, the favorite, get a good challenge from McKeesport. We saw North Allegheny get a game effort from Shaler. We saw Central Catholic have their hands full with Gateway, Upper St. Clair, and Mount Lebanon. Those four other kind of the other teams have been the teams that have sort of, you know, they're creeping up, trying to maybe pull an upset or something. But of the 4 top teams, likely to be the top 4 seeds heading to the WPIL, Upper St. Clair, from a head-to-head matchup, has been the most impressive. I mean, you know, this is a good team they're playing, just like those other opponents had good teams, and Upper St. Clair has just been dominant tonight.
Well, that offensive line, you got to give major props.
They're out to Hagee in the flat, and that is red, and down he goes. Zach Dietrich in there to make the stop, and Hagee may have lost a yard or two on that little flare pass.
Yes, indeed. For Chris Herring, I mean, it's discouraging, but he knows what he's got, you know, and he knows that they're a better team than what they've showed here tonight. And I know Chris is a fine coach, and he's going to use this and get these guys ramped up. But for Jim Render, this has got to be like, you know, you're just pouring coal on a fire that's burning, getting ready to move into the playoffs. It's got to be a good feeling.
2nd and 12. Hagee remains deep in the eye, gets the pitch off the right side, gets a little bit of a seam, runs into a blocker or a tackler there, and down he goes. So just a short gain off that right side as was James Sutherland, who came up to make the stop.
They've just not been able to find a way to pop Hagee for the big ones other than that one he had in the second quarter. Hagee's such a big part of this offense, such a fine performer, but Upper St. Clair's done a good job of tackling, running to the ball, then tackling, and making sure that it's not one man out there, getting a number of guys out there on the hit.
And when you look, you know, across the WPIL, as we get ready for this 3rd down play now, Goff back to pass, looking under some trouble, and throws it away as was intended for Hagee, but he was hit, and the clock continuing to wind here again as we have the mercy rule intact. But, you know, they haven't played each other. Penn Trafford, Central Catholic, they haven't played it, except for the fact that Upper St. Clair played North Allegheny at North Allegheny, was leading in the second half of that game, had some turnovers. North Allegheny pounced on them 28-21. So, you know, you look and and again, that was way back in week 3. The teams have evolved since then. I guess what we're going to have to do is we're going to have a playoff here to decide who's the best team, aren't we?
Yeah, it seems like the playoffs is the only way to settle it, my friend.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. The ball out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and that's where Upper St. Clair will take over once again, up 42-6. Other scores around the WPIL tonight. Important games as teams try to get into the playoffs. Bell Vernon needs a victory against Elizabeth Ford to get in. They find themselves down 2. Hopewell needed to beat West Allegheny to get in. So Hopewell beats West Allegheny. They are in the playoffs. So we will get to see Russell Shell try to add on to his rushing total as He and the Vikings head into the playoffs out of that very, very difficult Parkway Conference. How about that? Bounces right off the heel of his running back and back into the hands of Dakota Conwell. Was trying to get it to Paxton. And it looked like it either bounced off the ground. I think it might have bounced off his heel.
Take a look at this. Now, if you didn't feel like things weren't going your way, if you're a Mt Lebanonite, take a look at this. It comes off. No, it went, he swatted it back.
Yeah.
And he swatted it directly to Conwell. Either that or Jim Render's gone to new types of handoffs.
If you could get that to work, you might have something there, but you'd hate to try it.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Chris Herring's got to be sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. I mean, you're serious. You got to be kidding me on that one.
Pitch to Paxton, able to get his hands on it this time and heads up the right side and will get out near midfield, pick up about 5 on that run. So Hopewell, boy, they needed that win. And you look at that Parkway Conference, man alive. I mean, we saw at Central Valley earlier this season, and presuming if they win tonight, you'd think they'd be the #1 seed. Montour has got to be a high seed. They were the #1 team heading into the regular season. And West Allegheny, despite that loss tonight, they're in. Hopewell is in. Boy, any of those teams could get on a roll and find themselves at Heinz Field. The Parkway Conference always difficult, and this year no exception to that rule. I'm making sure he's got the right play in. Brings Boyd in motion across the formation. And the give to the fullback, and doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot there. And Upper St. Clair will come up short on that attempt for a first down. And it's going to be, you would think, here the punting situation, as that was Nick Tancredi who got the call.
And for Tancredi, that was a hard 3-4 yards there, man. That was like it looked like he was burrowing underground. A lot of bodies in there.
And so now Steve Gannon will be back in punt formation. Has not been a very busy night for Mr. Gannon. Just a couple of boots, and boy, he lays into this one. Terrific punt, get a bounce sideways, scooting along the 5-yard line and down there. And you talk about offense, Wolf, you talk about defense. With Upper St. Clair, you also have to talk about their special teams. It has been outstanding.
They are outstanding in their performances. They're so well coached. As we've already documented, they've had nearly half a dozen punt, kicks blocked that they've been able to block. And by the way, that was Kinger just passing me a note. I'm sitting here trying to make a point, and now you got a note, right? Like I can walk and chew gum at the same time. What am I supposed to do with that one?
Well, Clint Hurdle says if you're multitasking, I don't remember what he said. He said you're not getting anything done. You're not tasking at all, he said, if you're multitasking. Luke Hagee now with a run off the right side and just steps out of bounds. Boy, almost had nothing but green turf ahead of him, but stepped out of bounds as he crossed the 20 out to the 21-yard line. In other words, Clint Hurdle said, don't multitask. That's what he said, yeah.
Exactly.
And I was asking you to do that, and I apologize for that.
All right, that's a nice run there by Luke Hagee. Just finds a little crease there, and yeah, he sure did step out of bounds there. I like that young man. He's a smart guy, good performer. Right there, got himself a little too close to the edge.
So Hagee will live to fight another day. He and his Blue Devils are headed to the playoffs. Goff back to pass over the middle, intercepted on the hop, and it's going to be taken back. Chopped down as Steve Gannon got inside the 10-yard line on that interception, deflected off a couple of bodies, and on the spot was Steve Gannon with the interception, his second of the season.
Well, we saw this in the first half. They had some success with this. Pat Goff delivers one over the middle, trying to squeeze it into his tight end there, and that would be Dylan White, and it pops off his hands. Now you got a comebacker coming at you, Tyler Roth. Nice Johnny on the spot. Right there, just gets up there and bounces off the hands. Looks like somebody from Upper St. Clair might have gotten a hand on that too.
Austin Stefanik got a hand.
Was that him? Okay.
Immediately went to block. Well, you talk about he deflected the ball, looked over his shoulder, and then immediately went in and laid it back. A block. I mean, we just saw a quick shot at Jim Render. What a well-schooled, well-coached team in every facet. Here's McGuire off the left side. He'd like to get himself into the end zone. Doesn't on that carry as he's taken down off the left side. Gain of perhaps a yard or two before Doran Graham came in to make the stop. And we can see that Coughlin is checked in at the quarterback position for Upper St. Clair.
Coughlin. We saw him on the reverse. Of course, we've seen him on defense, you know, covering plays downfield.
Oh, yeah.
He gets in there at the quarterback position as well. And we have a timeout called here with 4:05 remaining officially on the clock here on a 2nd and goal. And Dakota Conwell looks like his night is over.
Gee, he kind of looks like his brother.
The Great Dane.
The Great Dane. Yes. Dane Conwell was such a big part of that championship season.
And terrific players. We take a look at our McDonald's players of the game. Was there any doubt? Dakota Conwell, 21 carries, 273 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Dakota Conwell. Wow, what a tremendous performance on a big stage with a Quad West title on the line for Dakota Conwell.
Pretty good timing to pull it out when you're on TV. Yeah, then you can sit there and now you can smile and, you know, enjoy the fruits of your labor for the evening.
I hope you got that recorded at home, you know. That get recorded? Okay, got recorded. Good. I can check it out again sometime. And boy, what a spectacular performance. And boy, is Pitt getting themselves a terrific football player. They want him in at the linebacker spot, 6'1", 215 pounds already as a senior in high school. And we saw, you know, the speed and the obvious athleticism and toughness from Dane Conwell as well. 2nd and goal. Coughlin will give to Tancredi. Tancredi straight ahead and gets down near the 6-yard line before he's bottled up and dropped. And I'll tell you something else too, that, you know, obviously, you know, both coaches, if we take a look at Luke Hagee first here, here's our McDonald's player of the game for Mount Lebanon. 19 carries, 121 yards, had the touchdown. So Luke Hagee just, you know, the offense couldn't get really around him enough. As we take a look at, he moves past Justin King. How about that for some pretty good company? And right behind NA star Alex Papson from a year ago, 8 yards behind him on the all-time WPIL rushing list. And of course, he's still got some playoff work ahead of him as well for Mount Lebanon. Pitch out here to the right side to Will Snyder. Snyder looking for some room, and Snyder crosses the 5-yard line, gets down to the 3-yard line before Seamus White, the cousin of Dylan White, is in there to make the stop. Going to bring up a 4th and goal.
That was a nice job there. Mount Lebanon just fighting, scratching, kicking, trying to keep him out of the end zone here.
Well, I was going to say, you know, if you're Will Snyder, I mean, you got a chance now, and maybe you don't get this chance to get it. You got a carry in the Mount Lebo game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's out of hand, but this is a chance to reward some of the guys that have battled for you throughout their careers and get out here and get a chance to get in some action. Coughlin will pitch it again, and nowhere to run here. And Snyder's going to be taken out. A flag comes in late behind the play, but Will Snyder really just did not have a whole lot of room to operate there, as we see. It's going to be a hold on Upper St. Clair, so that'll be declined, but a chance for some of the guys to get in there along the offensive line as well, either future guys that are going to be playing in this game down the line, you know, underclassmen or some of the seniors again that have, you know, been in there practicing, trying to make the team better and all that, and they get a little reward to get in here in the big rivalry game against Mount Lebanon.
Oh, yeah. You know, high school is just so much fun, so many great memories that you have. You know, winning, losing years later, those aren't the things that you concern yourself with. It's the relationships, the friendships, the times that you spend together, and you will always treasure these times.
So some substitutions going on for Mount Lebanon as well, as they will bring in some different personnel with the game obviously out of hand here. And handoff off the left side. We have a new quarterback in the game. That's Tyler Roth, the junior who's stepped into the game at the quarterback position. And there's Roth. And look at him. Obviously, we've seen him punting the ball and playing some defense as well. And this Mount Lebanon team is looking forward now to the playoffs. That's what's going to be coming up next for them. I believe that's Tug McGraw in there at the running back position. It's the handoff on the right side. And bottled up, and the clock continuing to roll here. No, it's not McGraw, I beg your pardon. It's Joshua Alberts, a junior in there getting the run. And so let's take a look at the
updated standings now with this victory. Upper St. Clair will improve to 5-0. Again, they're one loss by a touchdown at North Allegheny back in week 3. Mount Lebanon will finish up at 4-1, 6-3 overall. Bethel Park it finds themselves at 2-2. Again, that's pending the outcome tonight and the other 2 teams you saw there. So still some battles for teams to try to get into playoffs. There's actually a scenario where there could be a 3-way exact tie, and then the Gardner points and all that other stuff would be, it would just be an absolute, it would actually literally be a coin flip between 3 teams. That's how close everything is, but I don't know if that requires, team winning by more than 10 points and some other crazy things to happen, but you never know what's going to happen there as the run off the right side by Josh Alberts winds up in a first down here for the Blue Devils, and we have what's coming up, assuming this will be the final play of the game.
How do you do a coin flip with a 3-way tie?
It's only got 2 sides as far as I know, but yeah, it is, I don't know, do you have a coin flip to decide who gets the coin flip? I don't know. That's interesting. As Alberts, what we figure will be the last play of the game, goes off the left side, is going to pick up a couple of yards. And the team's now huddling near the 50-yard line, and the congratulatory handshakes will take place as Upper St. Clair. So their 6-game winning streak snapped against Mount Lebanon a year ago when the Blue Devils beat them 14-10 on their way to an unbeaten regular season. But Jim Render's team comes back, and they beat the Blue Devils this time around, a convincing 42-6 victories. We see Chris Herring and Jim Render shaking hands, and each of these teams headed for the playoffs. And boy, if you have been watching this game and you're a team that might be facing Upper St. Clair, you've got some serious concerns about what they can do. Wolf really in all 3 phases, and we saw it tonight. Offense, defense, and also this special teams unit for Upper St. Clair is very good as well.
It was a dominant performance it was by Upper St. Clair Panthers. And there's the guy that choreographed the whole thing, Jim Render, who racks up number 351 tonight. That's still amazing. You got to try to wrap your hands around, your mind around the fact that he's punched out 351 victories.
We were talking to Jim before the game, and he said, yeah, I'd like to win a game on Root Sports. I'm not sure I've won one. I said, we televised that game in 2006 at Heinz Field when he beat Fenn Hills. Oh, he said, oh, yeah, I do remember that one. All right, Dakota Conwell standing by with our Lacey Collins. Lacey.
Dakota, what's it like for you guys? Mount Lebo knocked you guys off last year, get this rivalry, and win the championship.
I mean, it's the best feeling ever. I mean, 365 days went by. Last year we had a real salty taste in our mouth. We got to come out, redeem ourselves, and we proved ourselves tonight.
After tonight, playoffs start next week. What do you take from the regular season to gear up and head for the Whippeals at Heinz Field?
We just take this momentum. We keep practicing hard, playing hard, and hopefully the best things will happen in the playoffs.
Thanks, Dakota. Quad West champs, Upper St. Clair. Back to you guys.
Lacey, thanks very much. And just in case you weren't sure what this meant to Upper St. Clair, bad taste in our mouth for 365 days.
I was impressed with the young Dakota's